welcome back, everyone. If anyone is watching us, by the way, welcome to episode 3 of Legends of Evantris. This is a new Wednesday time for us. We'll probably be playing Wednesday evenings and Saturday afternoons. It's probably going to be our 2 major time slots. So if you're enjoying this now, we'll probably be doing this a bit more in the future. I guess I can start off by reading a quick summary. We'll probably be doing this at the beginning of every episode. For the first couple of episodes, and just until we kind of get more of a stride, have more info for you guys. So we'll just go ahead and start. I have a little thing that I prepared. I'll just go ahead and read it. So our party began their journey headed north in the Viridian Hills of Evantris, the known world. The hills had previously been uninhabited for centuries as the territory of a green dragon, Lethera the Proud, whom had recently been slain by the traveling folk hero, Dobro Sharkbane. For the first time in a millennia, the mortal races were able to safely explore and settle the wilderness, eventually discovering vast gold deposits completely untapped. This began a gold rush, drawing countless miners, prospectors, merchants, and anyone else bold enough to seek their fortune in the newly erected town of Pridefall, named for the circumstances that allowed for its founding. The sudden springing up of civilization led to the discovery of ancient ruins and lost artifacts, attracting archaeologists, scholars, and the occasional magic practitioner. It is for this reason that our party found itself formed. Previously strangers, they met... I lost myself. They met at the Inn of Wickermore, which is the final stop before the frontier. Although the roads north were finally traveled, it was dangerous to go alone, compelling the adventurers to agree to share their journey in the ram cart of Rodek Stonehearth. Rodek, played by Richie here, is a mountain dwarf fighter and former soldier from the mountains in the northern region of Mammoot, and he brought with him his trusty giant ram, Ramby, and an heirloom of mysterious importance, a huge war horn carved from a mammoth tusk and eternally frosty to the touch. He sought the counsel of Triton Azran, a professor of archaeology and renowned experts on magical relics, who had last been seen leading an expedition to the uncharted forest surrounding Pridefall in search of knowledge lost to the ages. Also in search of undiscovered artifacts was the bronze dragonborn Ganji Stormscale, played by Scotes here, a cleric of Bahamut and military researcher from the arid southern region of Nekbat. His battalion had been tasked with the mission of searching for remnants of the ancient dragonborn empires that once stretched across Evantris when the world was far younger, for anything that might help his people's war against the chromatic dragonborn. The sole survivor of an ambush that wiped out his comrades, Ganji ventured on alone to finish what he had started. In addition to ancient ruins, the sudden phenomenon of Fey crossings, brought on by the death of a green dragon, touched the surrounding areas with a strong Fey presence. Even with Lethera dead, reports of disappearances and people going mad were everyday occurrences in the hills. Sylvie Flickerwicket, played by Nikki here, a forest gnome who had made a pact with the Arch-Fey Titania after stumbling through her own Fey crossing, had been granted the powers of a warlock in return for service to the Summer Court. Sylvie left her home in Whipperwallow Swamp to investigate the potential outpouring of strange beings from the Feywilds. This shift in balance of nature also drew the attention of the Wood Elves of the Thornwilds, who aimed to preserve the natural order at all costs. Annelyn Mossgrove, played by Kelsey here, was a young Wood Elf ranger. She set off to Pridefall in search of her brother Ronmir, whose Thornwatch unit had been sent to the Viridian Hills to eradicate any unnatural abominations in the area. After their home was razed, their father killed, their mother kidnapped in a fire giant raid. She had hoped that her brother could help her save their surviving family from slavery. Finally, the party was joined by Vandris Truestrike, played by Andy here, rogue of the port city of Gullhaven, bounty hunter of repute, and occasional performer when a false identity called for. Vandris received a high-level, well-paying job from the royal family of the human kingdom of Anzu to hunt down an incredibly dangerous tiefling sorcerer named Orpheus Radamanthus for stealing a prized relic from the royal vault. After embarking on his hunt, Vandris deduced that all signs pointed to Pridefall as his marked destination. So, despite their varied motivations, these travelers found their goals united upon hearing a blood-curdling shriek from a thicket beside the road. Their investigation led them to being ambushed by slavers and subsequently rescuing a halfling girl, Sophina Spearfish, who had some mysterious importance to a murderous cult that pursued her relentlessly. In their adventures throughout the hills surrounding Pridefall, the party discovered that the cult was serving a coven of green hags and sought to spread the curse of lycanthropy throughout the land. Venturing southward, the party then took the fight to the seat of the coven's power in the Spiral Mountains near Gristmill, a small farming village. Aided by Dobro, the wandering folk hero, the heroes dispatched the hags and foiled their plan, but not without the loss of Sophina, who had been an unwitting changeling since infancy. Although the immediate danger had been eliminated, other pressing threats remain. The party has now come to the port city of Goalhaven, Vanders' hometown, in search for Orpheus, the sorcerer, to where they believe had fled and is plotting some dark machinations. And of course, there's been the constant murmuring of the whispers from beyond the plains and an empire that malevolent forces would see rise again. So that is effectively the story for the first arc of our campaign, which is about 2 years, almost 2 years. We are now in the port city of Goalhaven, and I guess to recap what happened last time, you all had been very kindly transported to the marsh outside of Goalhaven by the Bear King, the Archfey, whom had challenged Dobro to be his champion, and Dobro had succeeded and left into the Feywild with the Bear King. After escaping the marsh without, being attacked by a bunch of snakes along the way, a bunch of poisonous snakes, you made your way into Goalhaven and met up with Vanders' trusted confidant, which is, his name is Seamus Lear, at the Pelican's Perch in the fishing district of the city. You got the lay of the land, you began your investigation, did some shopping, thanks to everyone who stuck around for that shopping bit last episode. You guys stocked up and ordered some custom armor, and you decided that the best place to start looking was the district of Noble Garden, which is where many of the wealthy and the merchants and the nobility of Goalhaven resides. And before you did that, you assumed disguises and fake identities in order to blend in. You did an investigation of the Egg of Eternity, which is the prize museum of the city, one of the best museums in the whole world, potentially, which is owned by one of the Seven Serpents, which are the 7 plutocratic rulers of Goalhaven, with all sorts of historical relics and artifacts from the past. There you learn about a masquerade that was happening in the next week, and Vanders procured a date and invitation there where they were hoping to meet the renowned alchemist Alphonse LeBlanc, also one of the Seven Serpents, and then booked a room at Wit and Whimsy, which is the extravagant inn or hotel, I guess you'd say, in Noble Garden. It was then, after booking a room, you all decided to make your way out to the town and spend the night out looking for other nobles to potentially get invited to this masquerade. You made your way to Ophelia's, which is sort of a lounge and music hall owned by a tiefling. And although both Sylvie and Annulin, the 2 remaining party members disguised as nobles, were able to procure dates and invitations to the masquerade, so they're all squared away. You also were looking for information on Orpheus, and after a tense encounter with Ophelia, the owner, who revealed herself to be a magic user of some variety, we don't know what, you left the establishment, and now you are out in the streets of the Dionysian hemisphere, the party district of the city. And so, what do you do?
Quick question.
Yeah.
I didn't write down what Lou's date to the masquerade was. What was his name again?
Oh, Lou's date? His
Yeah.
name was Barnabas. You didn't ask his last name.
Yeah, there was Elderain and Barnabas.
Yeah,
Yes,
Elderain
I
and
have
Barnabas.
Elderain, but I didn't have Barnabas.
Just Barnabas.
I don't know about you guys, but I hope we end up killing everyone at the masquerade.
Well, we don't tend to do well when we go to fancy houses. On the invitations
Yeah,
of
our
others.
track record's not very solid.
It's not the best. So what time? It's pretty late, right? I thought we went to
It's
bed,
real late.
right?
No,
I
you
thought
didn't-
we were tired.
We didn't go to bed, but I think it was
Oh,
like midnight.
maybe. You guys made your way actually back to Wit and Wenzy. So you can be in the rooms or in the lobby seating area.
Yeah.
And maybe it's probably it's early morning, probably like closer to 2 or 3 in the morning. So it's late, but you guys are conversing.
All right. Well, that didn't go too well.
No,
It certainly wasn't bad, though.
pretty much how every conversation I have with anybody goes.
Poorly.
Yes. Most people don't understand my charms.
So we have about a week, right? 5 days. God. Yeah.
Correct.
5 days, yes.
World.
Yes.
God.
Are you listening, God?
So we have a bit of time to kill. So I think the question is, at this point, do we wait to dive straight into the Cunch and risk our lives, or do we explore the rest of the town, maybe check out the circus, see if
I think-
there's...
I think by rushing into the Kench, we blow all the hard work we've done so far. I think we have to wait it out. I think going to see things around town. If by my count, the armor will be done in only 2, 3, 4 more nights. So you guys would have your armor.
Quite a
before-
spread! Lad.
Well, I've got
Somewhere
3 nights
between
marked down,
2
but I don't
days
remember
and
how
3
many
months.
days they said it would take to be ready. It's been
It's
3
probably
nights
gonna be
though.
about 5. It's probably gonna be about 5 days. Oh, it's probably 4
Total
days,
from
4
the
days.
beginning
4
or
days.
from this moment.
We'll say the armor's done in 4 days, the masquerade's in 5.
That was what I thought you had. I
That's
thought you had said it
convenient.
would be only 5 days from the beginning, but I don't remember.
All right.
So yeah, I think we got some time to kill.
So let's go to bed.
Agreed.
Are we? Are we
See
going
you
to
in
the
the
basement?
morning.
We sure are.
I guess we sulk down to the basement or whatever.
Ganji.
I haven't done a whole of this just to blow our cover for some nicer rooms.
So, Ganji and Rodek shuffle off to the helps quarters of the hotel for far worse accommodation. You two, or the 3 of you, go up to your rooms. The elves get a room, and I believe Sylvie gets her own room of lavish luxury, beautiful accommodations. You 3 have the best sleep of your entire lives. And
I sleep in my armor.
Rodek
Because
and
why
Ganji
not?
sleep on hard surfaces, and it's
I
cold.
might as well.
Actually, question.
Yeah.
In the quarters, are there like other bodyguards around?
By the time you
Good
get back,
idea.
it's quiet. You don't really notice anybody there.
Okay.
You just go into your room, and it's pretty late. No
Okay.
one's standing guard or anything. I think what you're asking.
Well, I was more wondering if there was like a common area where they like gather and shoot the shit.
No, so there's a little door in the back by the back of the seating area, and just a hallway with room. It was very sparse. You
Okay.
can tell they
Gotcha.
spared quite an expense when building that part of the hotel.
Okay. I sleep peacefully.
You sleep peacefully. You awake. It is morning the next day.
Okay, so I guess we go.
Yeah, we rejoin.
I go. We're having our morning ritual of eating. Well, I guess no. So what do they have for breakfast here? Is it our first night here?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you go out, and there is a lavish spread of pastries, fruits, which you haven't had the pleasure of enjoying in a while. Super ripe fruit, beautiful pastry, really elaborately cooked meat dishes. A lot of egg dishes, so the world is your oyster. They have oysters. For breakfast.
oyster dish.
The
How
oysters are your
convenient.
oyster.
Don't worry, they have a bucket of gruel next to the bathrooms for us.
In the bathrooms. Is it included for the help as well? Can we start chowing down?
You get the idea that it's not encouraged, but I mean, who's going to stop you if
Okay.
your nobles are there? Is the
We allow them.
Do you like wave us to the food?
Yep.
All right.
okay? The woman you checked in with kind of glared at the help as they help themselves, but noticing the nobles so close to them, she makes no motion to stop it.
So I lean in quick, motion for the rest of the gang to kind of like huddle around. My question to everyone is, if we head down into town to check out the circus or whatever, do we maintain these disguises, or should we try to go back to our normal selves and not draw any attention to ourselves?
I'm not sure we. I think there's something to lose by not maintaining the disguise and not a whole lot to gain. I feel
Okay.
like we should stay in disguise.
If we run
Done.
into trouble, at least they'd have their weapons. Is the main benefit there.
I just have a couple of daggers.
Oh, that's right. You have
I
2 daggers.
I don't have old venom spine.
No venom spine. And Annulin has nothing. 1 dagger.
The dagger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just the dagger.
All right. Well, I'm okay. I'm fully armed.
As am I. It's not much of
I
It's
a
up to
also
you.
have both of my arms.
Oh, that's true. I can see that.
Thank you.
I'm ready to head into town when you guys are.
What does the poster say? For the
Yeah, flyer.
Yeah, didn't we have like a flyer?
You have a flyer, and it says, where did I write it down here? Mr. Magnus's Magnificent Menagerie.
Oh, that's right.
It has pictures of exotic animals and acrobats and clowns and shit, circusy stuff on the poster, and it says open nightly in the Black Pearl Square.
The Black Pearl Square. That's
Well, let's go.
Well, if they're
Ready.
open at night,
Oh,
what's our intention of? I suppose where haven't we explored yet?
The belfry.
The scales are that's like the shopping district, right?
yeah. I thought the belfry would be of some interest to Ganji.
Is the belfry like open? Do we know that? Is it guarded or is it?
It's a religious district.
And so there are guards, but it's not gated off or anything. It's a row of churches, temples, shrines.
So would we have seen anywhere that like we could learn like knowledge or like libraries or anywhere where there may be like professors or people that Professor Azran or people that might know like about artifacts?
So there are colleges. There's bard colleges, wizard colleges in the Apollonian hemisphere. There are also obviously the Egg of Eternity is the supreme spot for all things artifacts and relics in the city.
Mm-hmm.
You get the vibe of that. There are professors. Most of them, all of the center of learning and knowledge is in the Apollonian hemisphere.
Okay, so what I think we do is go down and check out the circus, see if anyone's setting up, practicing, see if we can learn any more there. And then I say we go on to the Apollonian and look for knowledge, as we
Agreed. Agreed.
say. Does that work?
Yes.
Alright, let's go. So I guess we head out.
And we're off.
You all make your way through the city, and after about where are you guys?
Are we going in disguise? Do we
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
okay.
taking this back, yeah.
So you all are in disguise. You make your way to the town square. It'll take you about a little less than 2 hours, probably about 2 hours to get there. You walk through the city. It is a little bit hazier. It's not as bright and sunny as it was the previous day. It's a little hazy, but you're able to, when you awake, you step out in Noble Garden, you're able to see most of the sea. The horizon is a little hazy. It's a little windy. You see the seagulls above you, which there are many, struggling a little bit against the wind. You make your way down the cliff on the main road. You make it to the Black Pearl Square, and you see the huge pitched tent in these bright red and purple stripes coming down. You see tassels hanging down from the top. It seems to be made out of at least expensive looking material, and it seems as if that this is a staple of the city.
So it seems kind of permanent, like
seems
semi-permanent.
semi-permanent. Maybe if they're not there year-round, they're there for months at a time. There are little, as you see in the square, there's almost a pop-up market. You have people with little booths and carts. They're selling things. There are some semi-permanent structures around the tent that seem to be related. None of it seems to be manned as you go, and it all seems to be closed and roped off.
So there's like no activity around.
You see a couple of the circus hands, maybe laborers, just hauling stuff, carrying buckets of feed for the animals.
Is there like an entrance to the big tent?
Yeah, there's a main entrance that's all.
Is it like kind of open?
Rope.
Or
It's all closed. It's all tied up. You see a rope line that would house, I guess, a throng of people waiting to get into the circus.
so I can't get like close enough to like nonchalantly like stick my head in.
Probably not. No, I mean, if you did, you'd be drawing attention to yourself. You could probably like try to burst your way in if you wanted.
No, I don't want to do that.
Did the flyer say anything about like a time that this thing goes on? Because so far we haven't seen anything where it says like it's actually active, aside from that it exists.
Well, said it happens nightly.
Oh, nightly.
It doesn't say what time.
No, just nightly. You could probably presume that it just happens around sundown, is when things open.
Okay. Are there any workers within earshot or like that I could walk up to?
You see a couple of them. You see what appears to be a half-orc carrying a huge dead animal, which you assume is going to be butchered and fed to their animals, like an elk or something. And he's walking around. He's probably the closest one to you.
Okay.
Where is he taking it to? Like, where do they keep the animals?
So you see that there is behind like the main tent, there is also a tent to the side of it that's kind of perked up that you could probably presume is it has a little side entrance where staffers going in and out.
Okay.
So I walk up to the half-orc, like nonchalantly, and I say, "Hey, old friend.
How can I help you?
We're new to town, and I was wondering, could you just what's this whole tent all about?"
This is a circus. You ever been to a circus before?
I haven't. It's pretty lavish here. It's my first time in a big city, so pretty excited.
You're ready for the best show of your life, then?
It's the best, you say?
I've only been to this circus. I assume it's the best.
Well, does it start now? Can I watch right now?
No, we don't start until sundown.
Till sundown. Oh, all right. Well, what can you tell me about the circus? It sounds interesting.
We're in Gullhaven about 6 months out of the year, and then we travel around the fields of Enoch and up through Rookroos, and then come back.
So, why should a foreign traveler like me attend this show? What exactly makes it so exciting?
You have the flyer. Exotic animals.
No, I don't. Do I have it? She has it.
We're all reading it.
Go on.
You've really never been to a circus.
I really haven't. I don't get out much.
Exotic animals, whatever the marketing says. Incredible feats of inhuman ability. humor. I don't think clowns are funny, but some people do.
All right. Well, it
Things
sounds.
you've never seen before.
I'm very excited. I might stop by tonight. Is it every night?
Every night.
All right. Well, I may be looking for extra work, as opposed to alongside my side gig as a guard to these nobles here. Are you all looking for help?
I might be able to find you something. Give me a sec. And so he goes off, and he ducks into the side tent, the staff entrance, and he comes out with a little scroll and says, "Here's a job application."
They have these here?
Yep.
I grab it, and well, thank you.
Make
Should I
sure
just
you
come back tonight?
put in the proper credentials.
All right. So
Come find
are
us.
you just here, just back there around? And I point around to the town.
Right back there, yep.
All right. Well, I'll be back. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We could use an extra hand.
All right. Thank you. So I nod and am I wearing a helmet? I don't know.
It's you.
I tip my helmet if I have one. I
He's
And,
not wearing a helmet. or a
and your
hat.
fedora.
don't
if
know.
you
Yeah, I
don't.
tip my fedora. And I go back to the group and I just relay that, hey, I didn't really learn anything.
Well, I hope you have your resume in order.
Oh shit!
So you're trying to tell me that you are applying for other jobs while in my service?
Well, you know, you don't pay that well, to be honest.
Got you a room!
So
I
it's
gave you-
indentured servitude,
I gave you a
is what
name.
you're telling me.
You were
Any-
nothing
any-
before me.
Anyway.
I've
Enough,
always
enough
wanted
of the
to be part
role
of this
play.
circus.
Enough of the role play.
Do I know of the names of the colleges?
You would know that
I got nothing in my sheet.
you would
Gosh.
know that the major the prominent Bard College is the New Lyric.
Ooh, with what's her face? Prestissimo. Campana.
You would know that she owns many of the Bard colleges. Yeah.
I'm gonna. Okay, so I think that we should head to many of the most prominent Bard College because, as I mentioned before, I am looking to speak to Campana, and there's a chance that she would be around there, being as she is the person who's in the know with music, art, and entertainment. So when you guys are ready, I think that would be a good place to head to.
All right. Okay, let's go.
Okay. You all head. Is that northward? You head. Or no, I guess.
While I walk, I'm filling out the application.
Do you feel like that? Are you going to actually enter legitimate credentials? Or are you going to make up shit?
I'm gonna put Carlisle. Carlisle Hearthstone.
Very creative. Just roll a general deception check to see how well that does.
No, Carlisle Stone's Throw. That's what it is.
I would give you,
Well,
I would give you guidance.
natty 1, 2.
I would give you guidance, but lying is a sin.
What would Daddy Bahamut say? So, is that it?
Yeah, so that's in the vault there.
Okay, got it. Did you know? I can't wait
I
to try to
peek
understand.
over his shoulder. Wow, you really do have your resume in order, huh?
You make your way through the Apollonian hemisphere, and you can tell that there are many sub-districts within it. There is a lot towards the magic shops and the alchemy shops that you were there. You can see that there are wizard colleges there and other magic schools. And then once you get into the rows of theaters and music halls and bard colleges, all of these campuses seem to be relatively in the same area. As you're walking through, you notice that the crowd seems to be a little less rough and tumble, seem to be a little bit better dressed, a little bit prancy in the way that they walk. They're just more.
So we fit in better in our
You fit in a little better. Yeah, you fit in decently well, and you hear music of all sorts of different varieties and genres and instruments coming out of various buildings on street corners. People are performing to practice. Maybe they're students of the bard colleges. And as you turn a corner, you see a relatively very large college arcing up several stories, and in elegant font says the New Lyric.
Are there? So there's the new. Are there other bard colleges, or are there like wizard colleges?
So you pass.
I'm keeping an eye out for anything like remotely artifact related.
So there are general colleges were of the non-magic variety that you pass. You pass you pass the major Sea Spray University, which is one of the major colleges.
SSU.
SSU. That's probably the most prominent that you see. There's a few smaller ones.
That's a
here.
wizard college.
No, that's a
It's a
general school.
Okay,
Yeah, for
I mean,
nobles
I mean,
probably
race,
send their children to get educated. You get the gist that this is for only the very wealthy can afford. Just a general education. You don't have magical talent.
All right. So that might be a place just later.
Potentially.
Okay. So I lean over to Vandris and I say, so what are these 7 serpents all about? Are they just very powerful? And why, do you need to talk to all of them or just this one?
Well, so the 3 that I had mentioned were Alphonse LeBlanc, Vito Velostinic, and Campana Prestissimo. For obvious reasons, the alchemist being, someone who's probably pretty powerful regarding some sorts of magics, and Vito due to the fact that he also collects magic items. I think that those would be high value targets for Orpheus. The reason I wanted to talk to Campana, just because, as we all know about bards, they are in the know. They tend to have their ear to the ground, very much like bounty hunters. If anybody's going to hear the common people talking or the whispers of the noble people, it's going to be the people who are doing the entertainment. So I think that those 3 people are probably our value information. The idea with all of these people is that they're just very rich and powerful, and they basically run the city. I think that there's very little that goes on in the city that they don't know about or are not directly involved with. I think some of them are probably more dangerous than others. I don't know them all personally, and it's hard to gain audience with them. So I think with our current plan here, just kind of poking around and digging for information is the way to go. I'm hoping that maybe we can find out some information about Campana while we're here.
Okay.
Or perhaps talk to her. I don't know. We'll see.
Do you happen to know who the other 4 are?
I do, because I'm a genius.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. The other ones that I have not mentioned, they're Bartholomew Darjeeling. He's mainly invested in oiling products, particularly oil and perfumes. There's a Reeve Brockma, fishing, crabbing, and other seafood. You'd probably find that person by the docks. And where, actually, hold on, I don't have my map right in front of me. Hold on, let me take a look here. It's hard to see the one on camera. What's the yellow area?
Amber Dock.
Amber Docks, okay. If I had to guess, the Amber Docks are probably where the whaling products are with the oils and perfumes, and the fishing, crabbing, and other seafood is probably where we're staying in Widow's Watch. Please, God, correct me if I'm wrong. There's also Amalia Theramore, who is involved with the mercenary services, so you most likely find them down in Blood Anchor, if I'm remembering that name correctly. We've already mentioned Loudna Gilder, who is involved with shipping and all of the mercantile operations, mostly involved in the scales, and that should be all 7 of them.
Wow, you're pretty knowledgeable about this city.
What can I say? I've lived here a very long time.
Alright, well, let's start digging. Lead the way.
So we should head into the college.
So
if it's not,
I'm back to acting very guardedly and sullen.
So you get back into character, and you open the large doors. You see a few students darting in before you. You manage to catch a door. You walk inside. There is a large entrance hall with a statue of what seems to be a human bard. He's holding what seems to be a lute with a poofy hat and a ruffled shirt. You don't really see any kind of plaque, but he seems to have some significance to this college. And you see double stairs going up into hallways going out, and then hallways going out and around. There is a elegance to the decor here. It seems to be very, you could probably wager it's a very expensive school. Even like the molding and the wood along the side of the halls is very well maintained, is of very high quality. And you see there's a hustle and bustle. You hear music coming out of various rooms, classes going on as probably just started, or maybe an hour in. I guess it took you guys like 2 hours to get there, so maybe it's like kind of mid-morning. And classes are underway, and you hear the hustle and bustle of students running to and from class.
We should.
I want to lean to Rodek and make a joke, but you're like 3 feet shorter than I am, so that's gonna be really ridiculous.
You're like bending over.
We should make our way to any kind of front office or any kind of area of authority.
So you wander around a little bit. People are looking at you very strangely. Why there'd be 3 nobles and their 2 bodyguards kind of wandering around. And of your age, I don't think any of you are super young. Maybe, I don't know if any of you look super young. But
I could be collegey.
okay, you could be so Annulin
Annulin's collegey.
She might fit.
I'm just here with my dad checking out school.
Oh, okay, so yeah, for sure. Okay, so a few of you do, the others not as much, but you look a little out of place. You wander around and you manage to find on the top floor a small room. Did we just lose Skype?
We did.
We did lose Skype. So why don't we try to get them back in?
You jump.
Sorry about that, guys. I think we are having technical difficulties here. Appreciate that.
But I like to rate this call. I don't know. You weren't supposed to end it.
Hello.
Hey, we can't hear you.
Oh no.
We cannot hear you.
Oh, I'm
Can you
muted.
hear
That's
me?
why.
There we go. There we go.
You should. I accidentally hung up on you.
Are we
Oh,
good?
My screen's doing this really
Damn
dumb
it.
thing where every time Kelsey talks, her face takes up the whole screen, and then I can't see any of you people.
Okay, we're back.
Continue.
Thanks for bearing with us, guys. So I don't know what you guys had heard. You find a small room with a little plaque that says student services, and you the door is open, and you step inside, and there is what seems to be a rock gnome sitting behind the desk. She is dealing with a student, and then as you approach, the student is leaving, and she sits up. She perks up as she sees your noble clothes and says like, "Oh hi, can I help you?"
Yes, I'm looking for whoever is in charge of this college.
You mean the headmistress?
I do.
Or the owner?
Well, let's start with the headmistress.
The headmistress is in her quarters. I believe she's preparing for a lecture.
Do you know roughly what time the headmistress will be available?
Do you have an appointment with her?
We do not, but we're from out of town, and we are taking in the lovely sights of Gullhaven, and we were told that we must visit the college.
Well, you came to the right place. Can I take down your information and I'll see if I can get you an appointment?
Absolutely.
How long are you going to be in the area?
For roughly a week or so.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
The sooner the better, please.
And what were your names?
My name is Lord Antonitis.
Lord Antonitis? Okay. How about you, lovely lady? Points at Annulin.
Mademoiselle. Just Mademoiselle.
Okay. And you miss?
Lou. And I curtsy.
Oh, okay, Lou, Lord Antonidas and Mademoiselle, just Mademoiselle. As soon as I'll try to catch her on her way to her lecture and see if she can, you can get an appointment. If you'll just wait downstairs in the lobby, she'll come find you, hopefully.
Well, while we have you, you did mention the owner of the college. Would you be so kind as to tell us who that would be?
Of course, that's Miss Prestissimo.
Oh, fantastic. Does she visit her colleges regularly?
Not very often. She usually sticks to Noble Garden, but maybe quarterly, she comes and visits and see how things are going in all her schools.
When was the last time that she visited here?
Probably about a month ago.
Do you know when her next visit might be coming up?
She never announces. She just comes and she chooses not to announce, so we're always in tip-top condition and prepared for her visit.
It would be really great if you could send word for her and perhaps let her know that we'd also like to meet her as well.
Oh, no one communicates with her except for Headmistress Summerwind.
Okay, that's very helpful. We appreciate your help. Thank you.
Thank you. So,
Go down to the... Or...
So are we? Where's the waiting room? Is there a waiting
there's
room?
not a waiting room,
Okay.
so she has said to go down to the entrance hall.
Okay.
And you guys wait, and I don't know if you want to do anything while you wait, or you're just gonna sit and hang out, because she made it seem as if it could be a while, and there wasn't even a guarantee.
That's up to you guys. I'm down to, like, speed forward a few hours and see what happens. We don't have anything else to do until night, correct?
I mean, I would go looking around the town, but I can't really do that by myself when I'm dressed as a bodyguard in full fucking armor, so that's gonna be a little tough.
Can we wander around a little bit and accidentally stumble into her quarters? Or do we not know? I guess we don't really need to talk to her, though, do we?
We also have an idea that she's not in her quarters, so... I don't know.
Oh, I thought the headmistress was.
No, she's... Oh, I mean, she said she was going to go do a lecture, right?
She was preparing for a lecture.
In her quarters.
In her quarters.
We could like poke our head around the college. We can just see sort of. Is it like all sectioned off and like closed off, or is it?
It's not closed off. It's like any kind of university. There's just it's open. There's classrooms. Some doors are open. Most are closed. It's probably middle of the class. Middle of periods.
Is there any music around? Is there any like?
There's a bunch of music coming off from all over the place. There's not like people performing. There's people practicing. Music coming from classrooms.
And we don't have any idea of how long it'll take to get her. Well, I feel like if she's getting ready for a lecture, we could at least wait a little bit so we don't miss her.
Yeah, a couple hours. We lose nothing by waiting, right? I mean, like...
Yeah, let's just wait. Let's like give it like half an hour, and then maybe we can like check in with her.
I would say a couple of hours. Like if she's doing a lecture,
Yeah.
she's not going to come to us till afterwards.
Oh, till after the lecture. Okay,
Right.
that's fine. Okay.
So let's just let it roll. Fast forward. Let it ride, DM. How long we waiting?
So you hang around for about 2 hours. It's past noon at this point, I'd say. You're sitting around hanging out. There's a few benches in the main entrance hall. And then you see whispers. You hear whispers coming from some of the students as you hear the loud clacking of sounds like heeled shoes or boots coming down the hallway upstairs. You see them coming up onto the landing. A fairly tall human female wearing a long, billowy black dress. She appears to be middle-aged. Very long blonde hair coming down probably to her hips. As she turns, she sees you and gives you a smile and a nod, and she descends the stairs. All of the students kind of look at her with admiration. There's a you can tell that she is a revered headmistress just by the way that the students are looking and they're reacting, or they're getting out of her way immediately. And she.
So what you're saying is they would not appreciate it if we murdered her.
Well, you guys will probably murder everybody. A bunch of murder hobos. And she steps over to you and she does a little bow and says, "Welcome to our humble college. How can I help you find people?"
It's a pleasure to finally meet you. How are you today?
It's a pleasure. Is that Lord Antonidas?
Yes. The pleasure's mine.
She extends a hand and shakes it. I am Manda Summerwind. Welcome to the New Lyric, the finest bard college in all of Gullhaven.
Amanda or just Manda?
Yeah.
We appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
Are you looking to enroll?
Oh, no,
We
not
have
me.
classes for all ages and all skill levels. She references-
We appreciate it, but we have actually some business, and we were hoping you might be able to help us. We are not from the area, and we have been taking in the sights around Gullhaven, and mostly, being important people that we are, we were hoping to have counsel with some other very important people here in Gullhaven, and we heard that you may have some connection or rapport with Campana Pretissimo.
Of course, she's the one who employs me.
Is there any chance that we could somehow speak with her?
She does a bit of a sigh and says, "Well, I could ask, I suppose, if you have urgent business, but she'll want to know what it's for."
The subject matter is, I'm afraid, confidential. I would be most appreciative if you would at least ask for us.
I'll see what I can do. I'll have to make my way to her residence after we wrap up this evening, so I won't be able to let you know for maybe a few days.
I think that's fine.
I think that she'll want something, though. Knowing her, the more I think about it, I don't think I'll be able to go to her and just tell her that there's secret business from people she's never met.
Well, it's not so much secret. It's just it's lordly things. You know, we have lots of money, and we're visiting this lovely college, and we're just
are you investors?
interested. I wouldn't use that word. Let's just, well, you know, that's such an ugly word. We don't talk about these things in public, but you know, maybe just catch my drift and see what you can do.
I will let her know you're potential investors.
That's fine. Thank you.
And just make a quick deception check, please.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Let me take a look at my numbers here. 18 total.
Okay. Cool. So she says, "Well, and if you ever want to enroll, I assume that you can afford our prices, and so like I said, we have all skill levels and all ages. So just let me know, and we'd be happy to get you started right away.
Thank you very much for your time.
Have a wonderful day, and you know where to find me."
And we're off.
I bow.
Okay.
And we
You guys make your way back out into the streets.
people.
All right. So I lean into everybody as we walk, and I say, basically, we're done here for the day. I had an idea while we were actually waiting. If we wanted to try to go into the Kench under the cover of darkness without our disguises, I wouldn't hate that idea. It's definitely not someplace we want to go during the day dressed like we are, but if we wanted to explore the Kench one evening, and keep a low profile and not let people see us the way we're disguised, I think that would be fine. The only problem is Orpheus would recognize us, and it would potentially jeopardize everything we've set up so far. So, but it isn't. It's just an idea.
Can't you turn into a bat now?
Yeah, at least for a little while. I've been. I don't have the cloak on me, but yes. In short.
How long does that last? Do you
About an
remember?
hour, I believe.
An hour?
Let me check my nifty notes. Yeah, I think it's only 1 hour. I don't actually have it written down, but I think polymorph only lasts an hour.
Because that could be an idea. You could turn into a bat and possibly perceive through the bat's. Is that how polymorph works? You still have like your wits about you, and you can remember stuff. So anyway, do you think that might be a nice first step?
Yeah, actually, that's a really good idea.
We could also,
I'm glad I thought of it.
we could also stake out the Bard College, see if we can. We have some stealthy people among us, not me, of course, but one of you sneaky people could stake out the college, follow the headmistress when she leaves, and see if we can find your silver serpent by following her. She said she was going to go and tell her in person. It sounded.
That's
I'm
true.
okay with that.
Do you think it's a good idea risking it and possibly
Yes.
blowing our cover? Yes.
It sounds like
I'm
we're
feeling
blowing our
extra
cover
sneaky.
regardless. Yes. Either way, we're
Okay,
getting
well-
out of our clothes and.
All right. I mean,
I just
could
feel
be
like we're getting the
convinced.
runaround from all these people, and we need to do a little bit more.
Proactive.
I definitely don't dislike the idea of investigating the Kench more, but
Well,
there are other options.
under the cover of darkness, I can investigate the Kench, and if you guys want to tail the headmistress, we can split up.
Well, hold on. First, didn't we say that you wanted to talk to Alphonse and Vito?
I do.
Just remind me, which one is which in the alchemist? There's like the main
Alphonse
tower.
is
Alphonse
alchemy,
is-
and
yeah.
he owns the
Stargazers?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alphonse owns the equivalent exchange, which is the alchemy shop.
Oh.
Stargazers was the magic shop.
Okay.
and whose home was attached to the back of the Egg of Infinity?
That was Vito's. You
Right.
guessed.
Right.
Oh, so Vito isn't related to Stargazers.
You don't know.
Oh, we don't know. Well,
Correct.
so don't we know that Alphonse sometimes visits his alchemy shop as well?
Yes.
We're in the area. We could stop by and possibly see if he's there.
Let's do it. We got time to kill till the circus.
All right. Should we roll over?
So, if you guys want to do that.
Yeah, let's go.
Sure.
Yep. On our way.
So, you head back to the equivalent exchange. You remember it's that the circular building. You open the door, the smoke and perfume bellows out. You see a few people perusing in elaborate robes and hats. Can you grab me one, Nikki, actually? A little bit parched.
Make it two.
And whatever you like. And you go in and you see that that same human girl in a similar cream colored dress. She's kind of holding her arm, and she's looking down, counting money as after a purchase. As she looks up, and says, "Oh, welcome back."
Hello. I look around. Looking for anybody else.
You're dressed really nice.
All right.
What was it say?
I am. We were in our street clothes earlier, but now I'm on the clock.
Are you nobles? She looks to you all.
I just nod solemnly.
They are indeed, actually. So yeah, I was wearing my other outfit. That's my mercenary gear, and this is my bodyguard gear. So hence the change in costume. And so we were just in the area, and our lord and lady had heard all about Alphonse LeBlanc, as you had told us about last time. And you had mentioned that he sometimes visits. So we were wondering, while we're in the area, has he been by today? Do you know if he's coming back today, or at all today?
He only visits at evenings.
I should have figured. All right. Is it every evening or?
Oh no, not every evening. Probably twice a week.
All right. Well, that's relatively decent. Well, thank you. We were just in the area, so thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Do you want to buy any potions?
Didn't we already? But we bought 10, right?
Still good.
We're all right. So, I say we leave. Turn around and leave.
Well, by the way, if you are nobles, in about 4 days, I think, Mr. LeBlanc is hosting a masquerade.
Oh,
at
we
his
know.
estate.
We know.
I should have assumed you were all in the know. I'm sorry.
Are you going too?
Oh no, I'm not allowed to go.
Oh, you're not. No, me neither. But they are, unfortunately. So.
It's a really good time. I mean, I hear I've never been, so I wouldn't know. But I hear it's good.
I've heard it's pretty good too. But I hear the circus is pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And so we may be visiting it tonight. So I'll let you know how it is.
Oh yeah, please come back and tell me. I haven't been in a while. I don't know if they've added anything new.
I'll let you know. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Goodbye. So we peace out.
Okay.
So a lot seems to happen at night around here.
Yep.
So, do we want to head back to Widow's Watch to see if Seamus has dug anything else up in the meantime?
I think it's a good idea, and then we can hang out there until nightfall, evenfall, and I can prepare for my reconnaissance mission into the Kench, and you guys can be close to the circus.
I don't know if it matters, but we have 10 potions of transform bat that we stole from the hags.
We cover all go and cover more ground.
Oh my god.
Bat squad!
I really like that,
If
actually.
he go it alone, he can, but...
That's
We'll cover more ground if we're all there.
How it doesn't last very long though, does it?
I thought it was like an hour.
I thought it was like an hour.
No, not that potion. That potion was much shorter. A minute.
Oh.
So I don't
Potion of polymorph. Polymorph potion.
Polyjuice potion.
Damn. I thought that was a really good idea too.
Well, before we go to Widow's Watch, we may want to find a place to change out of our disguises. I don't know how much we would stick out going to a place like Seamus. No offense to your friend, but I don't think he sees many nobles, and we might attract undue attention.
I'm sure there's a place for us to change around here. He said optimistically.
It looks up at God.
This is a lot more populated, bright, bustling than the little alleyways in Widow's Watch and Amberdock, but you would be able to find some place that you could attempt to change stealthily.
I guess I didn't bring any change of clothes though, to be honest. We kind of just like...
You're right.
I didn't. I was very explicit in what I brought with me, and that was not one of them. So I think that I can probably just maintain a low profile as we walk back into the Kench. I mean, into the Widow's Watch. I mean, that's how we snuck out. We can sneak back in. It wasn't like we stealthily left. It was just kind of like, you know.
I thought
Well, we
changed
changed right before New
Yeah.
Year's.
We changed, like, right here.
That's a good call.
So we have our clothes with us. We should.
Touche.
I mean, if you guys say you like basically brought all your stuff out of the room with you, that's fine.
I mean, the only thing I would have had extra would have been like the cloak that I normally wear anyway, which would not the special bat cloak, just a regular cloak to like cover my, fine clothes. That's what I would have. That's the only other thing I think I would have worn, right? I mean, like changing out of whatever I normally wear.
I'd say you would have like your stuff, that you would have brought. You probably would have brought basically your packs and the like, just to be ready.
Normal clothes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly at least the two of us.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
could have brought.
Well, then
other
let's
stuff.
change back. Screw it. Let's go stealthy change.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, you manage to duck into a little. There's a garden area with high walls. You manage to duck behind a little area, an area where probably after dark students go to make out and do who knows what. But everyone make a group stealth check, please.
18.
23.
10.
19.
Okay. You all stealthily and quickly don your normal clothes and gently pack away your fine clothes, your noble tabards and the like, and you are back looking like your old selves.
Okay.
To the Pelican's perch.
Perch.
You make your way to Pelican's Perch, and just see where you guys are. It's mid-afternoon at this point. It's probably around 3-ish, we'll say. 3-ish. By the time you arrive, the first batch of ships coming in with their catch have probably just gotten off, and they're heading all over to their establishments of choice. And you go into the Pelican's Perch, and you see Seamus behind the bar. As you all step in, he notices you, and he waves like, "Hey, Vanders, where have you been? I thought you're dead.
Never.
You keep worrying me sick."
Got any information for me?
Well, I actually do, but he beckons you closer. So,
Alright.
I don't know if you guys are gonna have a seat or whatever, but
Yeah, we're gonna sit. I'm gonna
he's
step
back like,
away.
"Oh, hold on, let me get you a drink later. Hold on." So he shoos off one of his regulars, and he goes over, and he says, "I got some more information from one of Balaver's enforcers, and he said that they were headed to the Red Hook Alley in the Kench when they went messing.
Red Hook, eh?
The Red Hook Alley. That
Is
narrows
that the
down
only
your
thing
search.
that... Sorry, say again.
I hope that narrows down your search.
It does, greatly. Was there anything else that they might have told you?
Just that these were 3 bad dudes, and they never found hide nor hair of them.
Alright.
There's a reason why Balaver didn't send anyone else after looking.
I'll be extra careful, I promise you. Orpheus won't
Please.
even see me coming.
Please.
Alright, so
Balaver,
we...
and as you know, Balaver's not the kind to take kindly to losing out on his union dues.
Understood. So I turn to the rest of the group, and basically, I think we should take the rest of the afternoon here, wait for darkness to fall, and then I'm going to make my move. Seamus has so kindly let me know the direction I need to go. I'm looking at a place called Red Hook Alley. If I don't come back in an hour after I depart, you know where to find me. Or pieces of me, perhaps.
Well, you be careful.
I don't. Should you really be going alone?
Yeah, I'm getting a little nervous about this.
I feel like you should take at least one of us with you.
How?
Maybe Sylvie could hop on her broom and just kind of like air hawk you from like higher up.
I think that would be extra conspicuous.
We'll
Do you-
just make sure that she's not cackling the whole time. Let's go with it.
I can't promise that.
I mean,
That's the password for the broom.
It does like a command word, doesn't it?
It does.
Or something.
was it Simon gave me?
Yes, that's what we determined.
I mean, Vandrus, how are you going to get in then?
I'm going to polymorph.
I believe I heard someone say earlier about potions that get us in the door at least.
But they only last a minute.
Does it take longer than a minute to fly around into the into the area?
I mean, okay, so out of character. Look at the distance from Noble Garden to the up whatever, one of the blue purple areas. It's a 2-hour trek. Look at how big the Kench is.
I mean, we know where it is in the Kent.
So
right?
yeah, it's about 4 hours to get from one end to the other. So and depending on which way you take, I think you take the main road. So it is a very large city. So
my goal is under the cover of darkness to use my advanced stealth thing to get as close to Red Hook Alley as I can. Polymorph, fly around for a bit, do as much searching as I can for that hour, and then get the hell out. The only issue is with 1 minute of polymorph, I don't think you get very far. Just throwing it out there. I'm open to ideas.
So you're gonna stealth into the Kench and then turn into a bat?
I'm gonna get as close to Red Hook Alley as I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you know? Would you have an idea of where this is? This alley? Would you have an?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
An emergency contact.
He knows.
That's
He knows.
What's on that alley again?
I'm sorry?
What was the description of the alley? Like, what's on it? I know you said it's not like sexy time red alley, but it's something else happening there.
It's not.
I don't think we got a description. It was more just Seamus letting us know that the 3 guys went in there and then not a single trace of them came back.
Vendors, how well do you know the Kent?
Yeah.
Do you know where in particular you're going, or?
I know it better than I'd like to admit.
Well, I'm all right with that.
I think I'll be fine. I think that I have the wherewithal to protect myself, if need be. I think that if we want to head to the circus, we should spend some time there, and you guys can do some exploring, and once there's sufficient darkness, I'll head out.
Okay.
Question: do we have watches or something? Like, do we have a way to time people?
They're pocket watches. I don't know if you guys have watches.
Just tie a bunch of knots in a rope and burn the rope, like they do them at sea.
Or wait, are there bell towers?
That's practical.
Bell tower clocks in the belfry. Okay.
Yeah. So they would chime every hour. Yeah.
Okay, so we could.
I intend to be back well within the hour. If it ends up being much longer than an hour, something's probably gone wrong.
I was planning on giving you a sending spell at exactly an hour, judging by the bell clocks, so that you.
That's actually not a bad idea. I can wait to polymorph based on a certain bell toll.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Okay. Well. So my concern is that if we're in a circus while you're doing all that, and you get into trouble, it's kind of far, right? Like, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna be dead. There's not gonna be anything.
Well, I figured we would walk up the street with him, stay on the outside of the Kench, and just hang around
maybe hang in the belfry actually.
Yeah, I mean, it might be difficult to get to him within the Kench, but
right.
I wouldn't think that we would stay here.
Okay.
I fully intend on this being a completely uneventful trip.
Okay. Well.
Never hurts to prepare. In my experience.
I think it's time to fast forward again.
So are we not doing
Meals.
circus?
Well, no.
I thought we were doing the circus
I say we should go to the circus at
waiting
at
for
nightfall, and then
Okay.
kill a few hours, and then I'll head into the. We'll do our plan closer to midnight when it's sufficiently dark.
Good call. Okay. So I'll go visit Randy in the downtime. Feed him some.
Okay.
Whatever.
I'll
we
go
do
with you.
Ram.
I'm going with you. Gotta say hi to Piccolo.
Okay. Oh, true.
You go to the stables where you left Piccolo and Rambi. They seem happy to see you, but they seem comfortable enough. The accommodations are modest, but comfortable enough for them.
Okay. So we're just waiting till nightfall, and I guess we'll start. Wait, should we go in our nobly clothes to the? Or no, we should probably stay unchanged until we want to go back to Noble Garden, right?
Yeah, just stay in normal clothes for now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. You make your way. You say goodbye to Seamus, and you make your way down to the Black Pearl Square, where there's a bit of a hustle and bustle now. It's probably approaching sunset now. Is it the idea that you guys are waiting?
Yeah.
So it's probably sunset now, and you can see the orange violet glow of the sky dimming into darkness as the huge lamps and street lights start getting lit by all the by the workers in the city, and you start hearing music coming from the area of the circus tent.
Well, we're in the right place. Is there like a line or?
Yeah, you see a crowd forming up in front of the circus, all roped off. There's a lot of variety. You see people of all varieties, noble, commoner, and the like.
So we, I guess, get in line.
Okay. You get in line, you wait a little bit, and then the line starts moving. You are admitted into...
Is it free?
You go in, you go in, and it is 5 gold a person.
So 25 gold. Is that fine?
Let me get the music going here. I don't know why it stopped here. Maybe it hit the... So, you step inside, and the tent is absolutely enormous. It is the size of a large building in the middle of the square. The ground is covered in the straw, so it's a bit softer to walk around over the cobblestone. There are seats all around the major 3 rings of the circus, where you are seeing that a lot of these acts are going to take place. You have things like trapeze and ropes all hanging from the roof of this place. You have little areas of there are cages set up in the circles. You see balls. You see certain props that you can imagine will be used throughout the evening. And then throughout, as soon as you step in, there are various carts set up for snacks, food, gifts, tchotchkes, things like that.
Ooh.
And you have
Annual loves snacks.
What was that?
I said Annual loves snacks.
It's true. I do. What kind of snacks are there?
There are... a lot of it is bread products. The main thing seems to be Magnus's Magnificent Meat Pies. Seems to be the standard. The standard. You have a few sweet treats, little bits of candy.
Tell me more.
Little confections, brightly colored things, and then you have things like salty nuts and the like.
I want to go buy some sweet treats.
Okay, you go and you go to the stand. You wait in line. You get a large paper bag of confections of various sizes. There's a very sweetness to it, but there's a saltiness to it. It seems very fitting to Gullhaven, like a salty taffy of some kind, saltwater taffy or something.
Jelly beans?
There's a jelly bean analog probably there. Yeah, there's a jelly bean analog. Probably not exactly. Don't have all of those chemicals in Evantris.
So Annual spends the rest of our gold on snacks.
It's
Yeah.
not
So yeah, that's probably like 10 silver. Probably like 5 silver for those. And just we got a comment. I'll just we'll go around the horn. You just character.
Good, because I was about to type it all out.
Oh, so yeah, we can go over stream. You can type it out too. Just
No, please.
This is Rodek, played by Richie. Rodek Stonehearth. This is Ganji Stormscale, played by Scotes. This is Sylvie Flickerwicket, played by Nikki. Over here on the right is Annulin Mosgrove, played by Kelsey. And then you have Vandris True Strike, played by Andy. So, just as you're your midstream update on Peace by Human I'm the Dungeon Master, obviously.
And we'll work on our overlay so that it's a little
Yeah.
clearer. So
Yeah, we'll work on that. This is still a work in progress. This is only our third stream. So appreciate you guys tuning in. We really appreciate you. And so, therefore, you all take your seats. What are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
do I see that orc anywhere around?
You see off to the side, he is hauling in a large barrel of some kind.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, like, he saw me in, like, my guard
Yes.
stuff, didn't he? Okay, I'm not even gonna, I'm just gonna, like, ignore him. To, like, keep do I have a hood? I probably have a hood of some kind. I'll just, like, lay low, and
Yeah.
we can go to our seats.
Okay. You all go to your seats, and after you, like, there's a lot of chatter going around, and all of a sudden you hear loud music start to come on, and all of the lamps are extinguished except for one huge burning brazier goes up in the middle of the center ring. Out steps a man very well dressed in red and white striped, almost like a suit, wearing a bow tie, a thick black handlebar mustache, and parted to the side, swooping off to the side, slick black hair, and he is holding a cane, and he says, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to
Is he a
Mr.
purple
Magnus's
tiefling?
magnificent menagerie! While you enjoy your sugary confection, you will witness sights you have never seen before.
That's right.
Daring fates that are daring do. Strange beasts from all corners of the world. And the most hilarious antics of slapdash humor, better than any city on the planet. Enjoy.
I think you mean slapstick, asshole.
Slapdash. Get it right.
Question.
Yes.
How far away is he?
He's very far. He's in the center of the ring. He is
Damn.
projecting his voice through.
What kind of check do you have to do to see if somebody's not what they seem?
You mean like an insight check?
Yeah, that's the one. Thank you.
You can do an insight check.
No. I just wanted to know what it was.
And so, the show begins. Mr. Magnus steps off, and you see the show begins with the animal portion. You have exotic animals like lions and tigers. You also have monstrous beasts. They bring out a griffin. They bring out a hippogriff. There is also the main the main shocking finale of the first act is a manticore that they bring out and do some tricks with. Manticore from all the way to the jungles of Yulong that they have tamed and are doing tricks around. And that ends. The next act is clowns. You have
Oh God.
you have clowns. Some very uncannily horrible. Looking.
Get him, gang, get him!
There,
Can we heckle them?
in this portion, the children are mostly laughing. It's more something for the kids, but some of it is kind of chuckle-worthy. Some of it is nightmare fueling, and they're of varying races, but you get the gist that most of them are dwarves and gnomes, and everyone is.
How far
is
can I
happy.
throw a dagger?
What I wouldn't give to be a bard so that I could use vicious mockery.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of when you said heckle. That's amazing.
1d4?
With once that finally closes, is the final act, which is the incredible feats of strength and ability, magic. You have magicians come out, creating illusions, doing great feats of magic, and then the acrobats come out, and then you then notice that there is a portion of a bard doing incredible feats with a pair of scimitars, and this is a female tiefling hanging from the ropes, spinning all around, almost as if swinging like a pirate from a ship, and the music kind of simulates a high seas adventure. And Vandris, you would recognize this tiefling as Emira Devil Dance.
I give nothing away.
Okay.
What's her name?
You don't know. You don't know.
Never mind.
So
I don't write it down.
And then she ends in an incredible flourish, and the show closes out with one more magical act, in which they bring in magical beasts and do an enormous finale. Some of the clowns you think are going to get eaten, and they end up not.
I was like, fortunately they do.
Yeah, unfortunately they don't. And the show ends. The crowd goes wild. It's very impressive.
I also clap a lot.
It's very impressive.
I go nuts.
Yeah, you guys would be impressed. I think.
I hope so. I'd definitely be impressed.
Okay, good.
I'm fully impressed.
Yeah, I didn't see anything like that.
Especially with the hippogriff.
What?
With the hippogriff.
Was there a hippogriff?
There was.
Oh wow.
There was a hippogriff. And so
Weren't you paying attention
I guess
to
not.
the circus in front of us, the menagerie?
And so, with that, the lights go down, and it's just Mr. Magnus. What was that?
I said in Georgia.
Is that a song?
The lights go out.
And it's Mr. Magnus standing there with his cane. Says, "Now, I'm sure you didn't believe some of the things that you saw, but trust me, they did happen. You saw with your own two eyes. Everyone, have a wonderful evening, and come back. We're here nightly." And the show ends.
What time is it?
It was probably about 2.5 hour show. It's probably getting to 9ish or 10ish in the evening.
Is there anywhere that we can see the performers are headed?
You see the performers ducking out back into a little slit in the tent, going back where you could guess is that smaller tent attached that you saw.
I tell the gang to wait here, and I run off.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, I give Vandris my my application. Could you turn this in for me while you're over there?
Sure. Snatch it and run.
Oh, thank you, lad.
So you go in, you go to where they're going, and you see two burly gentlemen, both bald, flexing, standing at the entrance, and say, "Staff only."
Excuse me, gentlemen. Lovely evening. Is there any chance that we'll have a chance to meet the performers? Perhaps for autographs?
Mr. Magnus says no one gets to meet the staff without paying.
Without how much?
How much you got? You look like you do pretty well.
This doesn't seem like a legitimate operation. What happens if I know one of those performers?
I'll go ask him.
I'd like to speak to Emiria.
Emiria, one sec. He goes behind the corner.
I'm sorry. You guys are breaking up. I can't hear you very well.
Oh, check. 1 2 1 2.
Keep going. Sometimes I have to repeat.
Okay, that's fine. No worries. So, hold on. So you come out, and he looks at you, and he's kind of smirking, and he says, "She says for you to go die in a ditch."
Well, that is very straightforward. Did she say it in a joking way?
No, she was very serious. She seemed very
And with that, gentlemen, I'll be taking my leave. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. I turn around and I walk away. Rejoin the group.
Okay.
Oh, that was abrupt.
Did you?
Oh, and then I stop and I think to myself, wait. Do you think you could take this application? And I hand it to one of the guards. There was an orc gentleman that my friend spoke to earlier. He'd like to apply for a job.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it to him.
Thank you. Okay, now, have a good evening. And then I walk off.
Okay.
Now he comes back and I say, "Did you tap it in?"
I did. I wasn't
thank
able
you.
to speak to the gentleman you spoke to, but the two very kind guards said they'd get it to him.
I'm sure my application was very convincing.
maybe we'll check it tomorrow morning. I'm sure you'll be in
Nail
full.
the interview.
God.
Probably practice in your quarters today.
That's true. That's true.
I don't. We have a few more hours if we want to wait until midnight. Maybe at 11 or so, I'll head out and you guys can chill in the belfry till roughly midnight. But until then, I don't really have anything else planned.
You left us pretty abruptly. What was that about?
All right.
I thought that I spotted someone that I knew, but I must have made a mistake.
I tried.
Okay.
That's fine.
So, you guys make your way towards up north in the city. It's dark now. It's late evening. So what are you guys gonna do?
At 11,
Okay.
I'd like to stealthily stealth into the catch.
First, before you go, when do you want us to check in on you and see what hour of the bell?
We're synchronizing. I'll start at midnight, and if I don't make it back before 1, things have probably gone wrong.
Okay, I'll send for you at 1.
Okay.
So I guess should
I'm going to reach my hand out and I'm going to cast tongues on him before he leaves.
Okay.
It gives him the ability to understand any spoken language he hears for the next hour.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Ooh.
I didn't prepare that.
wait for the before he actually goes to fly away.
Well, I'm going to do it as he's leaving.
Okay.
So, like, the last second I have, I'm going to do it.
Alright, so what I'd like to do is use a stealth roll to basically leave the party and under the cover of darkness try to get as close to Red Hook Alley as I can.
So we're gonna go with you though. So we should start heading up like towards I guess like. Would you know where in the Kench it is?
Yeah, I mean I would. I don't based on the map, but Vandros
Right.
does.
It's probably towards closest to the wall. Like pull your finger back a little bit. Probably right around there.
Ugh.
It's
Yeah,
deep-
so
it's deep into
if
the
we
text.
depart from the Belfry around 11, it'll probably take me the better part of an hour to get there, which means by the time I get there, it'll be close to midnight, and then I can wait for the bell to toll and do my thing.
Okay. So I guess so we'll go up here with you, right? To at least to the belfry.
Yes.
Okay. So are we there now? What are we doing?
You guys want me to just send Lumi with him? She can just be invisible in his pocket.
It's also a good
That way
idea.
if he needs anything, he can just send her back.
Why do we always forget about the pixie?
I don't
Where
know.
is she?
She's from-
Lumi is Sylvie's pixie familiar.
It's a homebrew.
Now they're both here.
Yeah, homebrew.
It's basically an imp, but in a
Yeah.
pixie skin.
I actually did remember about her briefly, but then I...
Yeah. So I'll send Lumi. I'll call her back from the frog hunt.
Okay.
My,
Oh, right, frog.
well,
She's not very good at finding tree frogs.
no, leaf frog.
Leaf
thank
frog.
you.
Leaf frogs.
You blink her back. She has another fat frog.
Ah, you're never gonna get it right. Just go with him, please.
And she heaves the frog off. The frog hits the side of a building and falls down and hops off.
So long, candy bends.
So,
Under the cover of darkness, I'm going to stealth off into the Kench.
okay, do you make a stealth check?
I make a stealth check with advantage.
Yep, you do.
So hold on. So we're here at the belfry, right?
Correct.
Is there like a cafe or somewhere that we
Yeah,
can like sit
along
down?
the street.
You could find a little cash or a little tavern or
Yeah,
bar or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
Just
like
somewhere to hang that's
Yeah,
as close as we can get to the camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But
Yeah,
that's
there's-
not weird that we're just standing there for like
Right.
hours.
Yeah, no, you find an inn to go to. for
Okay.
sure, Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna
So-
roll. Here we go.
Okay.
I rolled a high roll of 11. Plus 11 is 22.
22.
Plus
Okay,
11.
so you put the hood up with your cloak of the bat. There's a little design of almost like bat ears coming up out of
Oh yeah.
the hood, and you melt into the darkness
And you
almost
cast
as you
tongue?
slink
I did, yes.
around the
moment
catch.
she leaves us, I
The-
cast it.
The
At 11.
scent at 11. So the bell tolls 11. Vandris stealths in.
Being sure
There aren't street lights here. The only light is the occasional light from a window. The smell gets considerably worse. These are the ghettos and slums of Gullhaven. This is the rough part of town. You see the occasional person walking on the street. These are people maybe covered in tattoos, rough. Some of them are scarred. Some of them these look like rough people. You do happen to pass streets where you see the occasional streetwalker looking around of maybe lower quality than would be able to find work in the Dionysian hemisphere. And you get probably about 3 blocks away from where you know Red Hook Alley to be.
All right. We'll wait for the bell to toll midnight, and then I will polymorph.
Okay. You look around, and probably the pace that you're going, it takes you a while to get there. You hear the bell toll midnight.
All right. I'll cast polymorph.
Okay. This is your first time using it. You
should have practiced.
You can feel
Yeah, probably.
the innate power of the cloak, and you feel like you know how to use it, and you will yourself into the shape of a bat. And this is your second time as a bat, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And this is, it feels comfortable. You feel very comfortable in your bat body, and you take off into the night sky.
So I want to fly over Red Hook Alley, basically following it from the beginning towards the end, using my amazing echolocation to see if I can hear and or find or see anything unusual and or Orpheus shaped.
So you fly in, and you fly into Red Hook Alley, and this, you would know, is a very rough part. There are considerable murders. There's a famous series of murders by someone with using a hook, which is why it was then thusly dubbed the Red Hook Alley. And you use your echolocation, and why don't you make a perception check?
I'd love to.
You have to make sure that your bat powers don't give you advantage or something on that.
Oh, let me check. I have it pulled up. I don't think so. Polymorph, Fruit Wisdom, saving throw, above transformation, target hit points, assumes the hit points of the new form, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't say anything about my bonuses.
You should have a stat of plus bonuses +2 to perception or something, or any bonuses at all. I don't know what a bat has.
5E bat.
I'll pull it up real quick. Bear with us, guys. I want to make
While
sure.
in bat form, you retain your int, whiz, and charisma scores.
Passive perception of 11. I don't know if any of that matters.
Yeah, no, that's all. So you just get your blind side. Okay.
Oh, I do have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So as you fly in, you see this.
Oh, I have to make the check though, right? You want me to actually roll?
Yes. Yep,
Sorry.
Yep.
I was highly distracted by something happening behind me. 16, and then I don't get any plus, right? Because I don't have my normal plus perception.
No, you have your plus perception. You have your perception thing.
Okay, then it's a total of 24.
24. So you fly in, and you immediately hear two hushed voices talking in the alley. and you look around in your echolocation, and you see that there are some buildings that have a light on here and there. You see a ragged-looking older woman peer out of a window and then close her blinds. And you see a couple that are totally completely dark. And then as you go in, you hear that from two voices. There's really only two people in the street talking in a hushed voice.
I can't get close enough to hear what they're saying.
You could, if you wanted to.
In the alley that they're in, how like tall are the buildings, surrounding each side of the alley?
Probably between 2 and 3 stories tall.
If I hover over one of the buildings
Like
next to
hang
the
on a
alley,
little shingle or something, or
yeah. If I like stealthily fly in and hang upside down on one of the, something in the alley, can I attempt to hear them? Try to hear them. I don't know if it's close enough, but I'm gonna try.
so you fly in and you hang on the shingle. No, the two gentlemen don't seem to mind. These are also humans. They are both very large in stained clothing. 5 o'clock shadow. They are whispering, and you hear one of them speak to the other, and he says, "Well, I heard that he said he could handle Old Man Weathers' house, and he never came back."
You said Old Man Weathers' house?
Old Man Weathers. And the other gentleman says, looks at him and says, "Well, we all know Old Man Weathers died 3 years ago, so I guess the place is haunted." And they talk back and forth for a while. I'm not gonna roleplay the whole thing, but they seem to be talking about one of the thugs in whatever kind of criminal organization, band of thugs that was in their posse had gone to some to Old Man Weathers, the old Man Weathers place, and they were talking about how it's haunted and filled with ghosts, which may have some significance to Vandris, but you're not sure exactly which.
That was going to be my question, have I heard of Old Man Weathers?
You have heard of Old Man Weathers' place. He was one of the original, probably one of the original crime thug leaders that miraculously managed to make it to old age, and he was probably someone that you would have slipped in and tried to get information to bribe out of before he died.
Do I know how far away that house is from the Red Hook Alley?
It's basically just down at the end of the alley from where you are, so probably a couple 100 feet.
All right, then I'll take off and head that direction.
Okay. You fly in that direction, and you see at the end of the row the house. It looks familiar. You've probably walked past it a few times. You never really went in. You always caught him in the streets of the Kench, and it is completely dark. There are the windows are solid. The blinds are drawn. There is you make a perception check to try to listen.
Oh, I rolled 2 19s.
Okay.
So 27.
27.
Oh wait, I made a mistake. 27. Sorry. Nope, I'm right. Go ahead.
27.
Yep.
So as you approach, you hear, with your improved echolocation you're hearing, you can hear things coming, rustling around. creaking in floorboards of other houses, but this one seems to be have no motion at all.
That's bizarre. I don't have much time left. So what I would probably do is just do one more sweep back up towards the alley and then start heading as far as I can back towards the belfry before I unpolymorph.
You fly back around. You hear as they're leaving that a reference from the two gentlemen of Belliver's enforcers that had come to Red Hook Alley and seem to share the same fate.
Got it. Okay. So I'll fly as far as I can until I guess I know that the polymorph is wearing off, and then find some place dark to rehumanize. You
go into a back alley that seems to be pretty clear. You duck into the shadows and turn back into an elf.
And then I'll sneak my way back to the belfry.
Okay, make a self check.
Not great. 17.
17? You almost you make your way through the district, and you almost you try to avoid as many people as you can. You seem to almost run into a thug here or there, but you manage to evade and stay mostly unnoticed, and you make it back to the area where your companions are waiting.
I'm alive, guys. So, good news and bad news. The good news is that there's some strange things happening in the Kench, and I'd have to put money on the fact that it's our man. The bad news is that lots of people are disappearing for the most part. They're referencing this old home of this guy that's been dead for a while, and they think that the house could potentially be haunted. People are going there and not coming back. So there's a very good chance that our man is holed up in that house.
What do you want to do?
Did you go inside the house?
I could not. There was no way in. It was oddly enough extremely quiet inside compared to the normal hustle and bustle of the Kench and even an abandoned home. It was oddly quiet. The windows were all drawn shut. It was odd. It was very odd.
Question. About the Kench.
Yeah.
How close are the buildings? Is it like very tightly packed buildings?
Yeah.
So like, if we climbed up on the roof, could we like go from roof to roof and get around?
I would think so. I would think that would probably, well, there's a potential for drawing attention to us, but yeah, I mean, I think that we probably could do
You
that.
can certainly try.
Would it be considered a long rest while we were waiting for him to do that? We were just kind of hanging out, right?
A short rest.
A short rest.
Yeah.
You love one, like a full 8 hours.
We went to sleep.
Good.
Yeah, no, short. Even like kind of recovering after a battle, and like that'd be a short rest. Yeah.
I just want to make sure I got my spell done.
Well, that sounds dangerous, and I'm glad you didn't go inside. But the question is, when do we go after him?
Well, that's a good point, because I was going to ask you guys the same thing. We either bide our time and keep collecting information, or we go in like gangbusters and see what we can find. Neither option is great. The longer we wait and collect information, we risk potentially missing him, or him moving. Or if we strike too early, that could have potential bad things too.
Or instead of going in like gangbusters, we could go in like ghostbusters.
We could. That is a true statement. That is factually correct.
They did say there were ghosts in there.
Yeah, I think that's probably just a way for them to explain away the weird things that have been happening. But who knows? With Orpheus, it could be anything.
Well, I guess my question is, if we think this is where he is, what else are we going to learn that's going to help us? I don't know
hoping,
attacking in a week's time is going to be any easier for us than doing it right now.
Maybe those people are in there, and that's a great way for us to get information. Like, I just feel like we haven't been getting any information at all with everything else that we've been trying to do. It's like just, we have no leads, we have nothing. Like, this is the best we've got.
I agree. I was just hoping to find out more of what we might be up against before we go in. But you might be right. We might have to strike now.
So, you said you didn't hear anyone inside the house. Is it possible that maybe just that they were out at the time?
I'm more worried that it's protected by magic.
Ooh. Like that poor hobo.
What hobo?
Don't worry about it. So, what time is it now? It's gotta be like, it's like 1
Close to
o'clock.
1.
2
Yeah,
Yeah.
about 1.
In the morning?
1 or 2.
Oh.
He was coming back at 1.
Well, anyway, I vote that we head back to the inn and start talking about getting a rest. But would it perhaps be... So I guess, Vandris, what's your concern about us going there during the day?
You know, the normal concern that you'd have going anywhere really, really awful in a large city. We run the risk of being attacked in broad daylight, depending on where we go. We obviously stick out. We're not from around here. I think people would be able to tell that for the most part, and that would make us easy targets. Other than that, would we be the first to go through cutting a bloody path through the Kench? Absolutely not. Do I necessarily want to draw that kind of attention to us right now? I'm not so sure that I do. But I agree with Sylvie in that we really don't have anything else.
I mean,
We are still within city limits, and they do have a guard force. Now, it's probably less, it's definitely less prevalent within the Kench, but, there's nothing stopping them from just locking us up. We can't just go around murdering people.
So do we go tonight?
You mean right this second, or within 24 hours?
Either one.
there's nothing, as far as I see, I don't see any problem with, I don't see any downside to going right now, as opposed to tomorrow night or any other night.
I don't have my bow or anything. I mean, I feel underprepared for this.
Okay, that's fair.
Well, no, didn't we stop
No,
by?
did you? I thought you guys.
Oh,
got
yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, you guys.
We
got
all
your
went
stuff.
to the...
Did we get all of our stuff?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I thought you guys.
I feel more prepared for this.
I pat Anulin on the back. Dave.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
you
not
know
gonna
my
hold
vote.
out anymore.
I mean, if I know that climbing up on the roofs is not the most subtle of things, but it keeps us out of the eyes of anyone on the street as long as we're trying to be quiet. We don't.
Well, that'll be on you, Dragon Feet.
That's why we have magic, okay? There's magic for these kinds of things.
Don't
I did like that. That was a really nice pun, by the way.
So don't we have Pass Without a Trace?
We do!
Right?
Wait,
Also,
do we?
is that only in the
I
woods,
thought that was
though?
Brenna.
No, that's me, but
Do you have the
I think it's only in the
Here,
woods.
I can look it up.
It's definitely not a terrain, specific thing. You'd be able to do it whenever, I
Isn't
thought.
that like perfect for the situation?
Does it make us go quietly? I didn't know if I didn't
Hold
know
on, while
if-
you look that up, I'm going to take a 1 minute break. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Be right back.
Pass Without a Trace. A veil of shadows and silence radiates
Oh,
from
yeah,
you, masking you and your companions from detection. For the duration, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, including you, has a +10 bonus to Dex stealth checks and can't be tracked except by magical means. The creature that receives this bonus leaves behind no tracks or other traces of its passage.
That's amazing.
And it does last up to an hour, so it'll get us
Jesus
around.
Christ.
And it's not just in the woods.
No,
Not
it's
just in
anywhere.
the woods. It's anywhere.
Well, shucks.
Well,
Yeah, we
hot
should
diggity
use that.
dog.
We can fill Vandris in when he gets back.
Quick, 1 minute break.
Yeah.
Question: while
Wait.
we're talking about it, does anyone know if
Just one.
I give myself advantage on dex checks, does that count for initiative?
I don't think so.
Wait.
I don't think so either, but
No, I think that it'd be any type of dex check.
Because
It just
initiative is
uses your
just
dex
your dex
modifier.
modifier.
Yeah.
It's not
okay.
a check.
That's kind of what I thought. I just wanted to be sure.
It's cold in here. Is that just me?
Is it?
I'm freezing.
We do still have that one to detect magic.
We
right?
do.
Okay.
And we have all 3 charges of it because we haven't used it in like a million years.
Yeah, my vote's to go in like a gangbuster.
Yeah, honestly, like
You mean a ghostbuster?
Yes, a gang of ghostbusters.
Thank you.
A ghost of
A
gangbusters.
ghost of No, I don't think that's what we should do.
A gang of ghost-busting gang fighters.
because
Thank you.
that's what I mean though. Like, I don't know that we're gonna discover anything that gives us a better idea of what we're gonna find in there.
Yeah.
I agree. I
He's
agree.
either there or he's
Let's
not.
just do it. We've never been ones to lean on the side of caution, so.
Touche.
Hurry up, Rich.
You guys can continue. Tell Andy about Pass Without a Trace.
We already did.
Oh, yeah.
Did we?
Did we?
Oh, Andy was gone.
Yeah, he was gone for
I mean, I heard Kelsey's excitedness about it not being a forest, so I assumed we were good to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone just gets
Plus
plus 10 to dex checks, stealth checks. We're
I'm gonna have plus 21 to my stealth.
we're gonna be under a cloud of shadows, and we don't leave behind a trace that we were there.
Do
no
I?
sound
Can you
passes.
roll?
And no sound passes through it. so
Can
they
you
can't hear
roll a
us.
natty 1 on skill checks?
Nope.
So then, is there
critical
really
fails.
ever any reason for me to roll my dice? The bare minimum I can get is a 22.
I
Well,
just
you don't
want to know
what
what
the DC
you
is.
get.
You don't know what the DC is.
And
It
the
could be
DC
higher
could
than
be
20.
25.
Yeah, 25 or higher.
You're trying to sneak across a well-lit room with everyone sitting there staring at you.
Is it possible? Is it ever possible? Or is the DC like 104?
Yeah, the DC would be very. You'd have to be very creative, we'll say.
I like that. Alright, I'm ready when you guys are.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Daniel, you ready?
You gonna cast it, Kelso?
I'm ready. I think.
Bunny, a bird.
All right. So what do I have to do? Anything?
Just.
Or
cast
I just use it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a second level spell.
We all have to be within 30 feet of you, so we all have to kind of be huddled up together.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Y'all snuggle up.
This is mine.
So you channel the power of nature and you raise your arms out and a blackness emanates, and as soon as it bathes over all of you, all sound around you dulls. You can hear what's within it, but everything outside is quiet. You feel very stealthy. Everyone roll stealth.
How much time do we have?
An
An
hour.
hour.
Oh, we need to move quickly.
14. 24.
21.
25.
41.
Did you roll it?
I rolled a 20.
Jesus Christ.
Van's literally melts into the shadow. He becomes a shadow. He disappears into the darkness, and you all are feeling very stealthy. Are you gonna go by roof, by ground? What are you guys doing?
We could probably stick to the shadow.
I think we just stay to the ground. I feel like it's too risky.
Agreed.
Going
So
on
so I motion to them to follow me, and we move quickly. We take off.
Okay.
We follow very tightly behind Vandris.
Yeah.
Well,
And behind
Kelsey.
Daniel.
Or Anyon, yeah.
I kind of stay. I guess middle of the pack. I'll stay middle of the pack. Or do they have to stay next to me, or is it
We're
Does that-
within 30 feet of you.
Yeah, so we'll
the
all
whole
be,
time?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go as fast as the slowest person.
Which is me.
Right, so we'll all move as a unit.
Okay. This is a sketchy district. You make your way through the Kench. But it's so late that even some of the harder people are going to bed. They're going to sleep. You manage to avoid any person that you see in the street. No one even turns their head as you pass. No sound emanates. You are very sneaky. You're sticking to the shadows. You're slinking down alleys, and then you turn and you see where Vandris has led you to Red Hook Alley.
All right.
Oh,
Nope, go ahead.
Just the two gentlemen that were there previous are nowhere in sight. It's empty.
I turn to the group and I whisper, we need to try to find a way in, but we need to be extra aware of potential traps. I'm thinking magic.
Can we?
I'm gonna use the wand of magic detection when we get to the house.
Alright, so I walk them over to the house, but, again, we need to keep a distance, a safe distance, so I don't know, just don't go touching the house.
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way to Old Man Weather's old journey, which the two gentlemen were talking about as if it was abandoned and no one really took up residence in the place of interest. And Sylvie is going to wand of detection or magic detection.
Yeah, I'm just to see like.
Sylvie pulls out her wand and there is a blue glow at the end as she channels her magical ability into it. And Sylvie gets in this, it glows brightly, and she gets in the sense of her mind, there is definitely strong evocation magic.
I immediately like just snuff it. And I'll let the group know.
Where? You're in the house?
Basically channeled in the door and the windows, but you're getting the sense of magic from just old man Weather's house.
Okay. Well, I can try to dispel whatever magic this is before we try to go in.
Yeah, so that was giving me my question out of characters. How do we deal with that?
I do have dispel magic prepared.
So Ganji's dispel magic. Also, you could make a straight Arcana check in an attempt to disarm magical traps.
Okay.
Anyone can do that, right? I think that's.
I don't know.
Yeah, but Nikki's got the highest, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll go ahead and try it.
Okay.
Well, should we?
11.
11. You place your hand on the door gently. You channel your fae.
And you die.
You magic.
Yeah, I die.
And you channel, and you're trying to. You feel the magic there, and you're trying to disarm whatever there is, and you feel it push you back. Does not explode.
I look at Ganji expectantly.
Okay, so I cast dispel magic on the door, which if it's third level or lower, whatever the effect is on it, it immediately dissipates. Otherwise, I have to make a cast like a dispel check with DC 10 plus the spell's level.
Or does he make the check?
I make an ability check,
Oh.
which I'm gonna give myself guidance for because it is an ability check.
Make you channel your dispel magic, say a little prayer to Bahamut, and make the check.
9 plus 3 plus another 3 is 15.
15.
It's not bad.
So anything that's 5th level or below gets dispelled.
You place your scaled hand onto the door, and you channel Bahamut's power to cast dispel magic. And are you able to tell if it worked or not?
She should still have
Oh.
not detect magic because it's an effect, right?
Oh, I said I snuck. Well, because I didn't want the wand to be like lit up. You saying the wand?
We're
was
covered in
lit up.
shadow though.
Oh, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And
You don't really
the
turn it
wand.
off.
Either way,
Something the wand. Yeah.
you cast dispel magic, and you feel as if the magic on the door has been snuffed out.
Beautiful
I
work.
think we're good to get in, but we should
teamwork.
be very careful.
Lovely job.
Well, do you want me to go first, like always?
Yes.
I will very gently attempt to check the door for physical traps.
Investigation.
Yeah, you know it. Here we go, investigating shit. Oh, wait a minute. I also have my eyes of minute seeing, which give me an advantage on investigation checks if I'm looking at something within like a couple feet of my face.
I love eyes of minute seeing.
Okay, eyes of minute scene go.
Can you pass me?
23.
You examine the door, and you're experience with this, it does seem to be rigged with some kind of trap mechanism.
Haha! I would like to attempt to pick the lock and disarm the trap, not necessarily in that order, whichever my expert trap arming abilities tell me I should do it in.
You make the it's just a straight check plus the proficiency with thieves tools.
Yeah, I think I just roll normal and then I get a +3 proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Why don't you roll that?
Just a normal check. Is this for the trap or the door or the lock or whatever?
Whatever you want to do first.
And I'll give him guidance for this too.
Well,
This
okay.
seems
So,
like the
so
time.
hold on. If I'm detecting a trap, what am I detecting? Am I detecting something?
You're
within
detecting
the
that
lock?
you would probably, given your background, you would know that you would probably disarm the trap first.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to do that. So
Roll
this.
an
So
extra
I don't think.
D4.
I'm sorry.
Roll an extra D4 as well.
For guidance.
Oh, okay. But I don't get the proficiency bonus for disarming the trap, right? Because that's not using thieves' tools, or is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
If you have proficiency
All right.
with thieves tools, then
I'm down with that. Okay, that would be 21 plus 3 is 24.
you stick your thieves tools into the keyhole. You click around, and after several seconds, you hear and you hear a rope dropping to the ground, and you feel as if it's been disarmed.
We can go in now, guys. So I'll turn the handle and I'll walk in.
You explode
Door's
with blood.
locked.
Oh, we
I'm
said
sorry?
you wanted to pick the lock.
Wait, that's a separate check.
That's a
isn't
separate
it?
check.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was all one go.
No, it's
I will
not.
pick the lock now.
Okay. Same
So,
roll.
do I still get the +1 d4?
Yeah, I'm just like, Bahamut, just fucking save us this time, please, for the love of God.
That's 26.
You
I'm blowing all my
after
20s.
disarming it, you're just in there, and it's unlocked very quickly. You, picking locks in the Kench is something you've done quite a number of times.
I proceed to enter the
Probably
building
on-
very, very quietly.
You open the door.
I'm gonna keep an eye behind us, by the way.
Okay.
I'm just gonna make sure that nobody's like
Just
watching.
make a general perception check just for this whole thing.
16.
16. You
Can I station Lumi to be invisible, like outside with enough time that if she saw someone coming to the building, she could give us notice?
yes, of course. So you send Lumi off. You can communicate with her verbally or telepathically, whatever it was.
Telepathically, either way.
Verbally, you send her off. She, gives you a salute and flutters off. Vandris opens the door, and it's pitch black. The walls are, the windows are totally covered. No lights coming in, but with your dark vision, you can see. Well, immediately, the stench hits you. It smells like rotting flesh. And
did you say those bouncers died?
it smells like rotting flesh, and you peek in, and here, let me pull over the map.
Oh!
How did you know we'd go in here?
Oh, DM. Oh my god.
To the, you see the room looks like a standard decrepit house, one floor house in the Kench. However, you see that there seem to be strange trinkets and objects just strewn across the floor. Things like small statues, like little gems here and there. You look in the center of the room. There is a wooden table with, you see a motionless humanoid lying on the table. Around, traced in some kind of material, in some kind of pigment of variety, is a circle drawn onto the ground. In one corner is a filthy bed. Another is a desk that seems to be with nothing on it, and then in one corner is a pile of ragged garments, as well as like cups and mugs, and you could gather maybe just like a pile of the things that used to be in this house over the years of use, all piled into a corner. And then most strangely are is that 10 green gems on the floor.
You mentioned that there were little statues and things.
Yeah.
Do I recognize any of the little statues? Are they statues of animals?
They're mostly animals. You have some figures of humanoids of some varieties. You're just kind of glancing over. There is one of a dragon, some of mythical creatures, and there are things like symbols like you see a crescent moon and the like. But
Okay.
nothing that looks familiar or significant, and they're just kind of strewn haphazardly across the ground.
Okay. So as I step in, we motion to the rest of the gang to follow. Point somebody. I just kind of point at the corner with all of the crap, useless crap, and I'm gonna quietly make my way over to the table.
Okay.
We should shut the door behind us too.
I just kind of give a thumbs up. I'm trying to like non-verbally.
So I slowly shut the door.
You make your way into the room, shutting the door carefully behind
You want
you.
our minis?
Yeah, you guys can just position them. You know, it doesn't really matter. It's all theater of the mind just right now, but just to give you an idea of what the house looks like. Obviously, my art skills are garbage, so it's less a. But so that you see in.
Outside.
You see you are basically in the center is this table, and when you get closer to this person, he is very large, covered in scars, incredibly muscular, but he has been decomposing for some time now. Probably about 2 weeks.
Can we tell what race he is?
He's human.
Can we tell...
As far as the paint on the ground, does it look like the gemstones are supposed to match up with the symbols at all?
They do not. You look closely, and there's a series of runes carved in. You would probably know that they're runic symbols, all within. So there's two circles: there's a larger circle and a smaller circle, and then in the gaps are runes carved in a complete circle, and these seem to be simple diamond-shaped, emerald-looking gems, all on the floor.
So I still motion to the pile of the. Someone needs to explore it, and then I'm gonna make my way over to the empty table.
I'm not getting anywhere near it. I just grimace.
I'll
a
go
little.
investigate, seeing him point at it.
I'm gonna go look at, without touching or crossing the circle, I'm gonna look at the body and see if I can tell, like, how he was, like, if he was sacrificed or something, if I can tell how exactly he died. Like, if there are any wounds visible on his decomposing body.
So Sylvie and Annulin are checking out the pile.
Yep.
Gandy's at the table, and I guess I'll look at the desk.
Yeah, I'm over. That's where I wanted to head as well. I'll go to the bed then.
I'll
go
head
to
to the bed then. If you want to go to the desk, I'll go to the bed.
Doesn't matter either way.
I'll go to the bed. There you go. I see you at the desk, and I go onto the bed.
Make a medicine check, Ganji.
Okay.
Are there windows?
Their windows.
Yes,
are
but they're all like blacked out.
12.
12. You are able to, you can see no immediate physical damage done. So there's no entry wounds. He wasn't blasted by fire. You saw that Orpheus used a lot of fire in your battle that you had with him. If this is indeed Orpheus's hideout, if this is his handiwork. You do, however, notice that there is a bloat in his chest cavity.
And I can't tell if it's necessarily if it's like moving or if it's gas or if it's something in him.
From what you're observing without touching anything, it does not seem to be moving.
Is it like an even bloat? Like, is it just like his chest is round, or if I can tell, or does it look like there's a lump?
It looks like there is a lump kind of in his chest cavity, almost as if his ribs may be broken, but it does seem malformed.
Okay.
Ganji, I'll give you 10 gold to cut him open.
There is not even the slightest chance in hell.
I'll do it.
Investigate the garbage.
Please, for the love of God, at least use mage hand.
I can use one of my daggers and mage hand to cut him open.
Oh my god.
My daggers don't weigh more than 5 pounds.
Doesn't seem like a good idea.
Let's save that for last. Let's see if we can find anything else in the room first.
Let's do our due diligence.
Meanwhile,
So we're investigating our
yeah.
things.
Meanwhile, while they're doing their investigation, now that I'm done looking at that guy, I'm gonna look at the runes again without touching or crossing them. See if I can recognize them or interpret them or something.
You make a first make an investigation check.
Okay. 16, 17.
17. You investigate the markings and make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Just so we.
Oh fuck! 5.
5. So you don't. The runes are not quite what you're used to in your studies as a cleric. However, you do notice that you've seen carvings or symbols and things drawn into the ground with blood. This does not seem to be blood. This seems to be a mixture of components that does look familiar, that you know, that you would probably know would be a combination of the 4 elements together that alchemists use. That is basically a paste of components that supposed to include aspects of air, earth, fire, and water.
Okay.
But the runes you have no idea.
Got it.
Okay, so we, Sylvie and I are investigating the trash heap.
Could you make
Classic.
an investigation check with advantage, one of you, whichever wants to do it?
You can do it, Gals.
I think you're muted.
Sorry, 18 plus 2 is 20.
20. You root around and you find bits of clothing, empty tankards. It smells absolutely putrid. In this pile, there, however, are a considerable number of gold pieces just strewn around, not really cared for. About 47 pieces.
Don't forget hepatitis.
and hepatitis.
Needles.
As you investigate the pile, your hand hits the bottom and you notice it sounds like it's hollow, and there is something beneath the floorboards that you had.
Guys, I think there's something under this giant trash heap.
I think there's something in this corpse. So
I'm gonna
we
use.
got some shit going down
I'm
here.
gonna use.
I can't believe it's
another
not butter.
charge Of the magic detection wand, aimed mainly at the guy to see if it's glowing in his chest. If there's some kind of magic thing in his chest.
A magical effect or a magical charm.
Well, just the magic detection just tells me if there's magic and what type of magic it would be.
So you cast your wand. Let me actually just double check this. Sorry.
And don't forget the meanwhile. With
Where
the
is
desk
the
and
PHB?
the desk and the
I'm
bed?
gonna read it to you.
Yeah, before we go descending
looking
down
for
any
the
hollow
magic?
staircases, we'll look at the desk and the bed. But
Are
take
you
your
looking
time.
for detect magic?
could I-
Nikki? Or
No, I just want to see like what the spell schools always get me.
Man, I wish we had a good DM.
I know, right?
I kid.
A key.
actually, you should still have the detect magic from before you. It lasts up to 10 minutes.
Has it been 10
I
minutes?
thought you could only use it on something, like one
So
title.
you use the
No,
wand.
it's everything in the area.
I mean, we can use it
So
as
you
a-
use the wand and it glows blue once again. However, it's nothing is coming from the corpse per se, but you notice in the ring around it is conjuration magic,
Oh boy.
and the hold on one sec, and you notice from the gems is transmutation.
What does it mean? So the gems are all glowing, and the ring is
Just
glowing,
circle.
but the trap door is not glowing. Okay.
Can we investigate the bed and the desk? Mike?
Yeah. Do investigation.
Alright, I'm gonna investigate the desk. I got a 17.
17. You root around in the bed. It seems to have not been used in quite a while. It's completely filthy, stained. Sheets been torn. You don't know what people have been doing here for the past 3 years. It just seems kind of like a gross.
Nice.
bed.
No, that was the desk. He was
Oh,
in
the desk?
Yeah.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
Whatever.
doesn't matter. And
We're interchangeable at this
Yeah.
point.
So you investigate the desk. Rhoda, make an investigation check.
10.
10. You check around the desk. There seems to be a stool up against it, and wax remnants of candle use. You then check, and you find a book
A book.
that is that's called The Path of the Elements. On the it's written on the spine is the Path of the Elements.
Is it sitting there, or did I have to like
It
dig
is
around
it
and
is
grab it?
it is beneath the desk, kind of stuck between nook and cranny.
Have I touched it yet?
You can see what it says though.
I'll go grab
Touch
it.
it.
You grab
Yeah.
it, and it has it seems to be a very old book, worn. There is it's a red cover, and you see a stamp of ownership on it, and you actually recognize it. That it is the seal of the Rivingtons.
I rush over to Vandris and I grab the book and I point at the little wax or the little stamp.
I look him right in the eye and I say, "How far up does this go?"
The truth is here. So I go to Sylvie. Is this magical? Can you check?
I've got a troll tusk.
Do you have a troll tusk?
I do, yeah. my bad.
Alright. Is this magical?
Is it? God of the world? I still have the wand. It's 10 minutes.
It is a book on magic, it seems, but it is not.
So it's
an
not
enchanted
glowing.
Book. It is not glowing.
Nope.
Well,
Well, we should probably head down the
Let's
trap
have a
door.
look.
yeah, I give it over. I don't
keep
trust
going.
magic anyway.
So I look through the book, see if I can find anything that looks like the ritual. Since I know that the circle is elements.
There is a the book seems to be, you flip through it, and the book, actually make a straight in check.
Fuck. That's the second natural one I've rolled in a row
Wow.
for the record. Straight in check. My in is only +1, so that's a big 2
Big
there.
2.
Big 2.
You flip through the book,
And have a
And
stroke and lose my bloody.
you get the idea that it is a comprehensive, not necessarily comprehensive, but it's a breakdown on the 4 elemental planes. And you notice that that towards the back are suggestions on uses of magic and alchemy. And there is, so you're not really able to read too much about that, but you do notice that there is a recipe for a potent paste that's supposed to represent all 4 of the elements combined. And basically just talking about the magic of primordial elemental force of which it comes.
What's the recipe?
It's a bunch of stuff that I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
It
Wait,
is-
what?
It is. Ganji can read it because it is written in Draconic.
Okay, so he's choosing not to share with us because he doesn't know because he hasn't talked to Mikey.
Okay.
So it's up to you. So I mean, it's effectively 4 magical reagents that are fine. And it's the combination which makes whatever this paste is.
Yeah. I mean,
Secret DM meeting.
I just can't tell. Like, I feel like I would share it with everyone. I just don't know if there's any reason. Like, if I knew what it was, if there was a reason why I think I wouldn't.
You would probably guess that that in your research that's probably what it's made out of.
And is there anything in what I've read, based on obviously what you know of my character, do you think I would like hesitate to share with the class? Or
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think
of
you would.
any
I don't think
reason
you would.
not
No.
to. Okay.
There's no reason why you wouldn't. No.
Then yeah, I'm gonna read out the ingredients to at least Rodex as he asked.
And the ingredients are essentially the blood of a Jin, and a Freet, a Dao, and a Marie.
Oh wow. So they're killing elementals.
Those are all the different
Those are the
elemental guys. Jin, Ifrit, Dao, and what?
And Marie.
Do we know what those are? Would we know?
Well, you would probably know that those are the genies of the 4 different elements.
Okay.
And so this blood is not like humanoid blood.
Mm-hmm.
It is the essence, their life force. It is
Okay.
basically of the element that they represent.
Got it. So we know what it's made of, but we still don't know. We don't have any
We don't know
indication of what
why.
it's for, other than knowing that it's conjuration and genre savviness tells us it's a summoning circle. But we don't know that.
Do I recognize the runes at all?
Make an investigation check.
Keeping in the theme of Rivington Manor, I say we burn it all to the ground.
5.
You don't recognize it. No.
So it's not like in dwarven characters.
Do I recognize it?
I tried.
Is it in Sylvan?
It is not in Sylvan either.
But does she recognize it?
What languages do you all speak, by the way?
Common and Draconic, I think. I don't think
Common and Sylvan.
Dwarven.
Hold on.
I don't think I know anything.
I literally have no idea.
Okay.
Shit. I
I
have two extra links.
Elvish, Common, Giant, Dwarvish, and Orcish.
Whoa.
You do not. None of you recognize it.
Okay.
I assume I just speak Elvish and Common. I don't. That's one of the only things I don't have written down.
We'll find. We'll figure that out. That's not a big deal.
Yeah,
I
I bet
doubt
money
Vantage
that
would
I don't
know
know what
this.
it means.
I doubt Vantage would know what languages is.
Okay, so
So do we?
Go down the hatch, obviously.
I feel hesitant leaving this behind us in our only exit that we know of.
Earn it.
No.
Let's not.
We're not burning anything.
Well, how do you want to deal with it then?
By not burning it.
Well, I mean, but what are our other options?
Wait, are you talking about burning the book or burning?
The body.
Oh.
We will never.
Why can't we just
burn
leave
the
it?
house down if we do that.
Because if we leave
And
it, it
thus
becomes some sort
our
of monster
cupboard
that kill
goes
us.
up in flames.
As does the entire town, since they're pretty packed wooden houses, I think.
It's just the Kench. We wouldn't be missing much.
Well. So was that a negative on stabbing it?
I assumed that was completely off.
Is it?
We haven't
It's not
tried.
moving.
I'm afraid some like poisonous gas is gonna come out. or
I'm
something
more afraid
weird.
it's going to become some bone construct and rip our limbs from our bodies.
So here's the thing. If it's been here for a few weeks, and it's still here, then
Well,
is there a risk of it?
you don't know if it's
That
been
would be
here
some
for 2
Deus Ex Machina.
You just know it's been dead for 2 weeks.
And who knows how
True.
long the ritual takes.
True.
Probably about
That's
2
That's
weeks.
a good point. It just so happens.
Well, I mean, we can leave it. I mean, if we don't want to touch it, we go down the hatch, we leave the body where it is.
Oh.
I agree we need to do something with it, but I mean, if we're gonna,
maybe,
like Sylvie said, it'll just burn us alive if we try to do it and then go down the hole.
Maybe we defer the problem and do it on our way out. Could you maybe get Lumi to keep an eye on it while we investigate?
Well, she's kind of watching the house to make sure we don't get bombarded by, you know.
Well, there's only one entrance, right, that we know of.
That is
So if she
true.
waits inside the entrance, it's still watching the entrance and the body.
Should someone stay here then and watch it?
Probably not.
No, I think I agree. If she's just inside, I mean, she can still. We'll be out of sight, so she can alert us if someone comes into the house, and then she can watch the body as well.
Okie dokie.
Can she see through?
No.
She can't see the dude.
No, but she's invisible, so if someone comes in the house, they won't see her.
But I mean, she can't keep an eye off on anyone approaching the house.
I think it's better to keep an eye on the body, honestly.
What does Sylvie think?
Sylvie doesn't care either way. Sylvie just wants to stab the body.
Why don't we send someone down and check it out first, and then if we need to all go, then we do. But for now, I'll keep an eye on the body.
Someone or Vandrus.
Vandrus.
Let's put it this way: someone who is very stealthy and has a special magical cloak suited.
I'm
for
going.
this.
I'm going.
All
Ganji,
right.
say no more. Say no more. I'll go down the hatch.
Okay.
Wait. I checked it for traps.
And it didn't look. Does it look magical? To
No.
Sylvie?
This is cool.
No, the
Yeah.
trapdoor is not magical.
Okay.
To Sylvie. Make an investigation check.
17?
17, you inspect it, and it does not seem to be trapped.
Alright, I'm gonna open it up.
You you slide your
What did I
hand
do first time?
and you manage to get your fingers into one of the floorboards, and you lift up, and it swings open, and a trap door. With probably a 3x3 hole just goes down into the earth.
Is there a ladder?
There is not a ladder.
I think I have rope. Do we have a rope?
Can we see down inside it?
It is
I can
dark.
see 60 feet down inside it.
You see 60 feet, you look down, and it looks like it's burrowed into the earth. And down at the bottom of the ground, you see a rough stone floor.
So I can see the bottom.
Yeah,
How far does the bottom look down?
probably about 50 feet.
Will that damage me?
You can
Yes.
make.
It's 50 feet.
There's
What,
the
5
potential
stories?
for harm.
It's 5 stories. Could you fly
Oh yeah, good
down
call.
I'm just saying.
What?
Yeah.
there? Why don't we send the gnome down on a broom?
Done.
Oh, okay.
Sylvie, are you willing to do that?
I love flying.
Do you love flying into dark, scary, spooky dungeon spaces?
As long as there aren't any spiders. I hate
There's
spiders.
probably lots of spiders.
There's probably no spiders at all.
You promise?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
I'll
I
do
do.
it. No spiders, I'll do it.
What a gal.
Sure.
Okay. So you mount the broom. You might mount a Sparkles 5000 or whatever.
Sparkles 5000.
Sparkles 5000. You speak its command word, and you are able, being as small as you are, you'll easily zip down and just head straight down. It's really the only way you can do it. You have dark vision as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to see. Once again, this is no light. So as you fly down, probably about 35 feet, it opens up into a cavern. You look ahead of you, and then we'll reveal on the map.
Dun, 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 dun. The
The
smell of death smells even more putrid as you go down. You
Those look like people.
Unveil more of his map.
and more summoning circles.
They're actually gingerbread
You
cookies.
look and you see 3 corpses, even more, seemingly more decomposed than the one that you just saw. In front of them are 3 smaller circles. Above them, at the end, is a pool of still water, and
learn my lesson.
that's all you can say.
I'm gonna fly back up to them and kind of let them know what I saw. And then,
I don't like
so,
this setup.
so it's pretty gross and it stinks, but there are no spiders, which is amazing.
I promised, didn't I?
I never doubt you. I trust anything you say. So I was looking through our inventory and I don't see any ropes, which is a
Damn, I could have sworn we had
If
ropes.
you got packs, you have.
I
We
think
all
that was-
have ropes.
Yeah, we all have like
I don't
adventurer packs or
I don't
something.
think I have a rope.
The rest of us have ropes.
Well, how long are those ropes? Aren't they only like?
I know I have anyone
They're
with an
50
explorer's
feet.
pack has a rope.
Yes,
Oh, I've got a
but
burglar pack.
I have an explorer's pack.
Do you have a spurgler pack?
Do you know what
Yeah,
pack you have,
yes.
Kels?
I think the explorer.
Okay. So we have at least 3 big ropes.
Yeah, but it should be like 50 or 60 feet of rope. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't sell rope in 10-foot cords.
That's what I thought it was.
You just dangle it.
At that point, it's not called a rope. It's called a whip.
So is it worth going down there?
I mean,
Yes.
if you're interested in the body on the table out here, you're probably interested in 3 bodies on whatever's down there.
Alright.
I'd go down.
I think we have to. We
Okay,
can't
let's
not
do it.
that.
Let's do it.
Wouldn't it be funny if we got all the way here and we were like, let's go home.
Actually,
I'm done with adventuring. I think I'll just stay in Gullhaven and retire.
before,
Bye, guys.
before we go, can I once again not touching it, but can I take a closer look at one of the gems on the ground? Just see
Yeah.
if I can tell any distinctive marks or anything about it.
Make an investigation check.
Yeah, I didn't think about trying to like pick up the gems or like
14.
crush one.
14. You look down. It's pretty sizably large. You think that it is abnormal for a gem, like the kind of gems you find are probably like this big, the ones that you've been selling and collecting. These are probably like yay big. They're huge, and they do seem. They almost seem like they're coming out of the ground as if they were inlaid into the ground, into the wood of this building on this floor, and so it does look definitely out of place. They don't look like normal gems.
Okay.
How many are there again?
10.
10.
And you said that they're fixed into the ground?
Who has a hammer? Ganji?
If you're suggesting I'm using my shiny new magical hammer that is literally shiny. It's giving off 20 feet of bright light because I'm holding it right now. You can fuck off and die, my friend.
I have a
But
toolbox.
wouldn't a magical hammer be the kind you want to hit a magic stone with? Let's be
A
realistic here.
magical hammer is the kind of hammer I don't want to lose. The shit like accidentally hitting a sphere of annihilation or some shit. I don't know.
Touche, touche. Let's head down the hatch.
Let's tie the ropes together. Should somebody stay up here and watch the rope? I'm gonna stay up here. I'm gonna keep an eye on the rope.
You're insane. You have to come with us.
We can shout out for him.
I can stay up here because I can at least fly down a lot faster than you're gonna climb
That's
down.
not a bad point.
We're gonna need you though, so be ready.
You have no armor and not much health.
I mean, I'm kind of wild and crazy.
That's true.
Pretty much whatever danger she gets, whether we get into danger or she gets into danger, she can dive down the
I can
hatch.
put Looney inside if you're freaking out.
I like that.
What being a baby, Rodek?
Got him.
Are we gonna peer pressure this?
Man,
Is
if
what
only
is?
this were World of Warcraft.
All the
you'd
cool
know
kids are
exactly
going.
What to do.
Yeah, let's head down the hatch.
I want to head down the hatch.
Okay.
Okay. You're fastening
I'm
the
gonna
rope to...
Or a removable rod.
Okay. You pull out the removal rod, click it, stays
Nice.
in the air, and you
I forgot about
tie
that.
the ropes together. Rope falls down. You hear a light thud as it hits the ground.
And I'm gonna leave Looney inside right by the door so she can let us know if anything happens.
Okay.
Make sure no one steals our removable rod.
What are the little things that you can like hammer into stone and like
The
attach a
climbing.
rope to?
Yeah.
Pitons?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on my way
Things.
down, I want to like also fasten it every like
Okay.
10 feet or like every 7
Okay.
feet, 5 or 7
Yeah.
feet, with pitons or pittons or whatever.
I think it's Pitten, isn't it?
Pitten.
It's Pitten.
I think it's a pitton.
So yeah, you climb down. It's not like an athletics. You have to climb down a rope, right? Like you climb down. You're hammering in the pittons, and you make it down. You're seeing exactly what Sylvie said. The smell of death is invading your nostrils.
So Looney inside.
Are these corpses inside the circles?
They're not.
Okay.
They are.
off to the side.
I'm going.
They're laying down and enjoying a nice donut.
Once again, avoiding the circles. I'm going to cautiously approach one without touching it.
So all 5 of you are down.
Yes.
Yes.
Sylvie's in the room.
Okay.
Or Lumi's in the room.
Lumi's in the room. You're approaching what?
The nearest corpse.
You.
Where are we coming down, by the way?
Looks like over there, I assume.
Is this where we're coming down? This doorway?
Was that? Yeah, that's the door. This is the entrance. Yeah.
Okay.
So you're just at that entrance.
So I'll probably go to this guy. Just
So
like be
you
right.
go over
be
to
right
the
here.
one on the right. You look. He is decomposing. He also seems to be a human. He's large. He's not. He looks like in life he may have been more well-to-do. He's better dressed, and he seems to be similarly dressed to the other 3 in the room. That you can tell. Do you have your goggles on, or
Yeah.
you have you're holding your mace
Oh,
or your
both.
hammer? Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Ganji's hammer is illuminating the bright light, but he also has his dark vision goggles on. And so you're able to tell that these look like less thuggish, I would say, than the gentleman on the table prior.
I
He looked-
whisper to Ganji. I just say something along the lines of, these may be the Belavir's enforcers.
What are their? Or go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna. What are their clothes look like? They don't look like nobles' clothes, do they?
No, not noble's clothes,
Okay.
but it's a similar style to the, maybe like the bouncers that you saw at Ophelia's, something
Okay.
like that. So they seem to be work uniforms potentially instead of just kind of a thug's outfit.
Okay.
And you look, and you also see the same bulge in the chest cavity.
Well, their chests look like they have something in them, and I don't like that. It looks like there's some shit going down with these corpses. I'm not entirely sure what to do about it. but I think we should at least for now stay away from them until we investigate the rest of the room and see if there's anything else to do here.
Agreed. I look around the cavern, and does it look like how is the stone? Is it like carved, or is it like a natural cavern?
So you make a perception.
Can I use my stone cunning
Yeah.
or whatever?
Yeah.
And then what? I double my proficiency or something? So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
It does not seem like a natural cavern to you, which makes the water at the end of the hall. It's not like a cavern that you've gone into with like a lake.
So it could possibly be like placed there, the water.
Potentially.
I'd like to
Yeah.
approach the water. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say the same thing. I want to investigate to see if it actually is water.
I start biting my nails on a super
Okay.
cartoony
You
fashion.
make an investigation. It looks like water at the top. Are you just looking? Are you touching? What are we doing here?
We're looking.
Looking and smelling, maybe?
It looks.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry. I wanted to go with them.
Okay.
And we have a tin cup. So I wanted to use Mage Hand to collect some with a tin cup and see if it collects like normal water. If it does anything to the cup.
I'm gonna stand at the very bottom of the hole.
Excellent
and I'm
idea,
gonna try to
Sylvie.
like basically keep an ear out
Okay.
up in the room.
The mage hand evaporates. You hand the tin cup to it. As it goes in, it scoops in. As soon as it breaks the top of the water shoots up out of the pool that it was in and starts to form around. In front of you is a looming creature made out of water with tendrils coming down its face and a mouth. They all look at you.
They all.
4 figures.
How many? 4 of them?
4 figures look at you and
Did we use the
let
wand?
out a watery cry, and everyone roll for initiative.
What would that sound like? The water.
Yes,
cry?
please do that.
I don't fucking know.
As that happens, are the bodies moving or reacting at all?
Make a quick perception check while this is all happening. It's a little nuts.
Fuck. 5.
They look like they're just kind of sitting there.
And I'm listening. Do I hear anything up above?
Make a check.
Perception or 7?
Can't hear shit.
I'm taking a second to get a drink.
Okay.
I got a 15 for my initiative.
So just 20 to 25 real quick. Okay. 15 to 20.
Me.
Oh, I didn't. 6. Oop. 6, 7, 8, 9.
What do you get, Vanders?
15.
15?
15, yes.
15? 10 to 15?
13.
11.
Okay, Ganji, where are you? Did I lose Ganji again? Nope. Annual's 11. Sylvia,
Yep.
were you?
9.
I'm 9.
Who wants to go first?
I do.
Okay. And then let me. Annual, you rolled an 11. What do you roll, Ganji?
13.
Okay. These creatures are all moving around. They look like water incarnate, but there is a monstrous, almost eel-like face in the water. Vanner, what are you gonna do?
He's,
Oh,
Not
he's
there.
gone. Well, he's first.
Can I
Dylan's
see
gone
anything
there.
up the hole?
You see up the hole, the rope is not moving.
I don't like this at all.
it's combat.
Like water worms.
The worms.
Alright. What's going on?
You're
You're
first.
up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Alright. So am I and me and Annulin are engaged with the one right in front of us, correct?
Yep. Number 2.
All right, I'm going to attack that one right in front. I have advantage on creatures that haven't made an attack yet.
Okay.
16 plus 9 is 25.
That hits.
1d8, 2d8, 2d8, 3d6 plus 6. Oh, this is an opportunity for some green flame blade, baby.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna use it. Which is okay. So I must make a melee attack. Upon successful attack, I'll deal 1d8 fire damage, and then jump to another target for 2 plus 1d8. So I'm gonna roll just the green spell damage first.
Okay.
So the first one is 6 fire damage to that first one.
2. 6. You see the fire erupt out of your blade. It splashes. Wait, did you roll an attack actually?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so it hits. The water seems to not get totally like displaced by the fire, but it does seem to do some damage.
And then it'll jump to the next guy.
You call
3 or this is 4. This is 3.
To 4.
to 4. Okay.
Dealing fire damage equal to 2 plus 1d8. So 10.
10. Okay. You notice the same thing from the fire. It looks over to the one next to it. It hits it a little bit, but it does not seem to slow it down at all. And then roll for your rapier.
13 plus 8 is 21 plus 6 is 27 damage.
Holy shit. Okay, to number 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
whichever one's right in front there.
You as it's happening, you slide your green flame blade into its form. Your rapier seems to cut right through it, and it lets out a shriek as it pulls back, almost surprised by how much damage you've done to it, and it took a big hit there. Ganji.
Then I'd like to disengage and run away.
Okay.
Just directly back towards Ganji.
Okay.
Not in the circle!
Oh god, here?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Ganji, you're
That's
up.
it.
I am going to run forward, get in front of Sylvie, and Sacred Flame it. So, Dex save.
Okay. 20.
Passes. Nothing happens.
Okay. You call the platinum flame pillar down, and its amorphous form easily dodges it. Monsters 1, they're going to go out, and they're going to recklessly slide over this circle, totally washing it clean, and it's going to go after Vandris. This is going to come around, washing this one, and then these two are going to come and attack Ganji.
Did number 3, was he close enough for an opportunity attack, or is he off to one side? I don't remember where he was.
You can get an opportunity attack, sure.
Just for fun. For funsies. Oh jeez. 11 plus... What's my to hit? Sorry. 17.
17, that hits.
Yep. 4 plus 3 is 7 damage.
7 damage to number what again? 3?
Yep.
You swing your glowing warhammer, and it effortlessly cleaves or bashes into its watery form. It also lets out a shriek, and it seems to be doing full damage there. And then so then monsters are attacking.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is going to attack Vandris here. It is going to swirl around you and almost start to constrict you like a snake. You will be taking...
Wait, I'm gonna uncanny dodge. I have to decide before I know the damage, right? I'm
Okay.
trying to be fair.
Yeah.
So then I'm gonna uncanny dodge it.
10 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are now grappled.
Is that 10 before or after the halving?
That is before.
So 5.
So 5 points
Cool.
of bludgeoning damage.
All right, and I'm grappled.
Okay. Yep. Hold on. Okay. You are grappled inside, and the water creature starts to go into your nostrils and your mouth as if trying to drown you.
I'm drowning.
And so therefore, we are going to have Angular.
How long does it take to drown in D&D?
I actually don't know.
There's a rule about it. I forget what it is.
I'll look it up.
If you wouldn't mind. Angular, what's up?
None of the other monsters are going to do anything?
Oh, sorry.
Only one attack.
One attack. 2 are going to attack Ganji. 1 is going to be 21, so
Yes,
it's going
that's
to reach out and grapple you,
Okay.
and it's going to take 2, 6,
Holy shit.
9 points of bludgeoning damage. You are grappled, and it is trying to drown you. That is going to be number 1. Number 2 is going to make an attack on Anulin. That is going to be. It goes and it shoots this watery form. You're able to dodge out of the way. The number 4 is going to also make an attack on Anulin, shooting its tentacly form. That is 17. Is that hit? Sorry, I should know this AC.
Yeah.
So
17
it,
hits.
shoots out its tentacles, constricting around you. You take 12 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled. Now it's your turn, and you can attempt to make an escape.
What does grapple do?
You are. Let me try. Speed becomes 0. No bonus to speed. That's it.
Yeah, so you just can't move. You can still
move.
attack and stuff.
And it's just trying to drown you.
Yeah.
Do we ever find this rule for drowning? I should have that.
Okay, so you said I can try to make an escape.
Yes, so you can do acrobatics or athletics.
Is that like an action or?
Yeah, your full action would have to be like writhing your way out, and you can always use a bonus action if you need to for something.
Okay. Yeah, I want to try to escape,
Okay.
and so it's just rolling acrobatics. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Acrobatics or athletics.
Acrobatics for you. It's gonna be your best bet.
That's not good. That's a 10.
10.
Freaky. I'll
You
just stay
try to
where I
wriggle
am.
your way out, and it manages to keep constricting you. You are still drowning here.
I have the rules.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Andy.
It's 1 plus con bonus minutes of holding your breath underwater until you fall unconscious. Your hit points fall to 0, and you begin making death saving throws per the standard rules.
So that'll be a round.
basically, we can hold our breath for like 50 rounds.
Okay. So they're just trying to drown you. Okay.
I mean, it's like it doesn't. So I found, like, just as a side note, it somebody asked basically the same question, like, what happens if a water elemental tries to like drown you? You know, the rules for drowning are really generous towards the player. Like, you'll never die of drowning unless you like fall off a ship. So you'd have to like homebrew your own rules about, like, you know, what happens if your air gets cut off mid-combat. You know, where somebody forces water down your throat. You
I
know?
think that you're able to, like, you know, not inhale water. So Sylvie, you're up.
I'm going to put Hex on number. We'll do 3.
3. You channel the power of the summer court and mark it for death.
And I'm going to Eldritch Blast him.
Okay.
Natural 20!
Oh,
Woo!
Yeah, I'll do the 1. I'll do the 1 first because I might send my beam at somebody else.
Okay.
Nice.
14, 18, and then the Hex. 18 plus 6 is
24.
24. 24 damages with the first blast.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that natty 20. Thank you, guys.
You shoot your first blast of Eldritch Blast, and it pierces right through. It definitely displaces a lot of the water. You see kind of a shimmering magical effect from the magic, from the form that you're blasting off. It is still alive, though.
Okay, I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
Attacks.
Okay.
Is that
20?
that skull die? Is that hex?
Huh?
The skull dice? Is
Yeah,
that hex?
Yeah.
Okay.
20 to hit.
Yep.
14.
14 points of
Yep.
damage. Okay.
6 plus 4 plus 4.
Your second
In
arc,
case you were wondering.
your second arc
I
comes
thought you did
around
magic
and
for as well.
blasts in, and you can already see just from the initial hit that they took in those two Eldritch blasts, it is struggling to maintain its form via whatever magical means it is taking that form. Rhoda.
So
The
seeing
one that costs
Annulin,
advantage, that's number 3.
Got it.
seeing Annulin getting drowned.
Drowned.
Drowned?
Drunt.
I think drowned is the.
I like drunt.
I'm going to attack twice. Ooh. 11 plus 8 is 19 for the first one.
19 for the first one?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then 11 for the... Yeah, 11 for the next one.
11 misses.
Okay.
Which number is this again?
I'm on 4. Oh, 11. 12. 16.
16. You go in and swing your axe, and it cleaves into this creature. It doesn't. You notice that it's not hacking as much of the flesh as Ganges and Vandris's attacks did, but it is still seeming to.
I have one.
What are you gonna do? Is that it?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, Vandris.
Do I have to make some sort of a saving throw?
You can just make an escape DC. If
Or you
like.
can just keep
Or you
attacking.
can just keep attacking.
Oh. Well, yeah, I won't drown for another 29 rounds, so I'll probably just attack.
Okay.
Oh, no, actually, no, I can't attack. I get, like, all this shitty, I lose all my bonuses. I gotta disengage. I gotta get out. So just roll a d20?
No, grapple's not restrained. You don't have any negative to your attack.
He won't get sneak attack.
No one's engaged.
Oh, I see. So you can make an action to try to escape.
Yes, I would like to.
Okay, roll. Acrobatics.
Oh, boy. Oh, acrobatics is good. It's still only a 13.
13. That you
rolled.
barely managed to wriggle your way out of
Woo!
the tentacly grasp of this creature.
So is that my attack? That's my
your action.
Yeah.
So I would like to use my cunning action, disengage, and use my movement to run the hell away towards Rodek.
Yep. Okay.
Sorry, I
That
couldn't save.
1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going.
5 and engage the beast. One up. Yep.
Okay.
I couldn't save the ring. I was gonna try to stop him from wiping away that last ring, but no point.
I don't know if anyone stop him.
Oh shit.
I mean, they seem pretty intent on getting rid of the rings.
I don't think they
I-
care one way or another.
Yeah, I read it as they don't.
Yeah, I
know
don't think
what
that was
the rings are,
intentional.
they're just running at us. But
Okie dokie.
I mean, I don't know. You could be right.
Okay. Blah, blah. Can't.
Fuck it. I'll just attack. The guy that's
Yeah.
grappling me. 16 plus 6 is 22.
Okay. Hits.
5 plus 3 is 8 damage.
8 damage. Your magical warhammer smashes off some of its wall. You see this shimmering magic kind of dissipating as it flies off. Monsters want. Oh,
Well, hang on.
yeah.
I'm actually gonna bonus attack.
Okay.
Ooh. 7 plus 6 is 13. I'm gonna let that ride. See if that hits or not.
13.
Mhm.
That does hit.
Oh, nice. 5 plus 3 is 8 damage again.
8 damage. Number 1. You come back around, smashing it again in the face. Its watery form gets smashed off and then it reforms.
Okay.
Monsters 1, so we're just going to do a quick round of attacks here. This one sees Sylvie and is going to it's going to shoot out its tentacles and try to grab Sylvie. And it's going to it completely passes her, hits the ground. This one is, are you grappled, Rodek?
Nope.
Okay, so number 4 is grappling Anulin.
Yep.
So number 4 is going to make just a constrict attack on Anulin. That is, you can feel it trying to crush you. You manage to squirm your way where you avoid any damage. The 1 and 2 are going to make an attack on Ganji. And they're both going to swing and a miss, and they are just awful. Anulin?
Okay. So I'm engaged by, what is that, 2 and 4?
You're engaged by 4 and 2.
Okay. I'm going to,
22, right?
I guess I can't shoot through Ganji, can I?
You can
Okay, I'll attack, and just to be clear, the little X is dead, correct? The skull?
No, that has Hex.
It
That's
has
alive.
Hex, yeah.
Oh, Hex, okay. Okay, I'm going to attack the one with Hex on it.
Okay.
Does that help, the little skull guy?
It doesn't help me, but that's the only one that's ranged that I'm not engaged with
Right.
Okay.
and can reach because I can't shoot through Ganji.
It's probably better than
Okay.
nothing.
Yeah.
So 24 to attack.
That hits.
And it's damaged, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
7, so 14 damage.
Damn.
14 damage. Okay. You fire an arrow. What number was that again, sorry?
3, I believe.
Oh, the Hex one.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. 14 damage, you said.
Mhm.
You let loose an arrow. It pierces through. It, similar to Rodek's axe, it doesn't seem to cleave quite as much, but it does displace the... some of the water, and it is looking like it's really struggling to maintain that form. It is on its last legs, it seems.
Okay, then I'm going to make my second attack on that one as well.
Sounds good.
So that's going to be 28.
Hits.
And just 1d8. Ooh, that's not very good. So 9 damage.
Your second arrow flies through, gets it right through the head, and it's water, it shimmers and shakes, and then collapses into a pool of water and sinks back to where the pool was.
Is the pool gone now?
No, it's very shallow.
Oh, okay.
It looks like almost like a couple buckets of water, and now it's filled up a little bit. Okay, Sylvie.
I'm gonna, with that, because he's dead, I'm gonna put Hex on number 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to fire both of my Eldritch Blasts at him.
Okay.
And I got 2 natural ones.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
No! What are the odds of that?
Idea.
Two
I'm sure
natty ones.
someone who's good at math can tell us.
You stick out your arm, and there's
One in
little,
400.
and the Eldritch Blast don't even go off. There's a little out of your hand. Okay. Rodek.
Okay.
1 in 400, is that really, you just multiply 20 times 20?
Should be, because
They're,
independent.
yeah, they both have to be.
Wow.
Rodek.
Alright. I don't have my Warhammer on me, do I? Would I have gotten it? I didn't explicitly stay. Anyway, I'll attack twice.
Okay.
Wait, you don't have your Warhammer on you? What do you have your Warhammer?
Would be in the room where we have gotten all our stuff.
Yeah, I thought we had this conversation. This is like the 3rd time we've had this conversation.
Why
Yeah,
not
'cause
kill
remember, I didn't
someone
wanna
with
come-
bow, but would I have thought to get the extra Warhammer? I don't
Probably
know.
not.
Probably.
Well, what is your normal weapon?
My normal weapon's my great axe.
Then that's what you'd probably have grabbed, yes.
Right, and I have my crossbow. So basically, I have my crossbow and my I wouldn't have gotten it. 20 for one of them and a 12 on the other.
12 misses.
I'm gonna make it a menacing attack.
Okay.
10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 damage
What?
to number 4, and he has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
To number 4?
Number 4.
Oh, but that's not the one.
6.
That fails, so he's now afraid of me until my next turn. Or until his next, my next turn.
Yep, he is, you cleave in, doesn't do as much, similar to what you've been doing.
Doing what I
previous,
can, guys.
But there is a fear in its watery eyes.
You're afraid of me!
Xanthus.
You fear me.
Is he frozen?
Xanthus, can you hear us?
He looks frozen.
Are you frozen?
I'm sorry, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
I just
wow, that was...
You're just very still.
No,
Perfectly
it's just
still.
you guys are breaking up. I can't quite hear you.
Oh.
I apologize.
Are you on the Wi-Fi with the music mic? Or...
For some reason, this is unrelated, and we'll keep moving on. We can talk about it afterwards. But I have like a constant yellow call quality is like not what it was last time we did this.
Weird. We'll troubleshoot that after.
Yeah, it's not important. It's not important. I can't always hear what you're saying. So anyway, I'm gonna attack the one that's standing right in front of me with Rodek.
Okay.
Oh
It might
boy,
be-
14.
Hits.
What the hell?
Weak Knight versus
Hits.
God, I'm rolling like garbage all of a sudden. 9 plus 7 is 16 plus 6 is 22.
22 damage, okay. Your rapier pierces in effortlessly, cleaving it, lets out a loud roar. It's doing a lot of damage. Ganji.
I got 2 guys on me right now. Which one is the one that's grappling me? Is it number 1 or number 2? Do you remember? I thought it was number 1, but
Number 2's grappling me.
Number two is, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I am going to just do a normal melee attack on the one that's grappling me.
Okay, number 2.
14 plus 6
Hits.
is 20. 5 damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole creature glows as your hammer pierces or bashes into it and sends a radiant light going through it, but it just takes a little bit of damage.
I assume that these guys aren't fiends or undead.
What was that?
I assume they're not fiends or undead, right?
Monsters 1. Okay. So 4 is still grappling Annulin. He's going to make a crush attack. And he's... Jesus Christ. Okay, you're retired. Number 1 is... Wait, number 2's grappling.
Mm-hmm.
So number 2 is going to make a constrict attack against Ganji. That is going to be... he goes in, you try to get struggle out of it with your shield, but it crushes you. Dealing 12 points of bludgeoning damage. We are still grappled. And then that one is going to, once again, number 1 is going to shoot out at Sylvie. And is going to grapple Sylvie with its tentacles and pull her 5
Do
feet.
Misty escape.
Okay.
So I'll
So
take the
you'll
damage.
still take the
Nice.
damage. So it wraps its tentacles around you and starts to crush, dealing 9 points of bludgeoning damage. But as you feel the tentacles pull you into it, you evaporate into a pink mist and teleport where?
I'm going to teleport back by the door.
Delibird's my favorite Pokemon.
Delibird. Yeah, I'm gonna Delibird over to the door.
You want a Delibird, Rich?
Richie, can you Delibird
can you
the
Delibird
door?
Oh, that's a new meme.
Thanks.
I love Delibird.
My favorite. Annie! Me so
Okay.
hungry, Annie.
Yeah, of course.
Wait, what? Okay, I forgot to use this before, so I'm gonna Hunter's Mark number 4.
Number 4.
I would just
Kill a
have
wild-
you said being grappled doesn't have like
Doesn't
attack
have
effects,
negative
right?
combat effects,
I'm
you
just
just
at
can't
disadvantage
move.
because it's up on me.
Yeah, you can't move. Rules is written. This is like, it's kind of a minor inconvenience.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so Hunter's Marking number 4. Whoops. And I'm going to attack it. 14.
14. That
Yep.
hits. Roll for damage.
Okay. And that one has been damaged.
All of them have been damaged. Which number is this
Okay.
though?
4.
4. Okay, you got it.
Just like to double check so I don't cheat.
Remember your disadvantage because it's
Oh
melee.
shit. Okay, let me. Okay, so disadvantage still would have been that roll. So 14 was my attack roll.
Cool. That hits still.
Alright. Oh, pickles.
Oh, pickle chips.
Oh, pickles.
Daniel will have to
Okay.
roll a 2 or a 1 to miss.
Or she can roll 2 ones at the same time.
1 in 400 chance. Only you.
Okay.
So it's okay.
6 and 7 is what?
Double crit
13? So 13 damage.
I've done that
Okay.
before.
Hold on. Your arrow flies into it despite its form trying to disrupt your bow. It pierces right in, but still doing not as much damage. Which,
Oh, shoot. I forgot to do the thing for.
Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, for Hunter's Mark. That's a 6, right?
The D6. What's the Hunter's Mark?
D6, yes.
D6, yes. Roll
Yeah.
that.
It's like Hex.
So that would have been a 6. So add 6 damage to that.
Okay, so I'll add it. But does Hunter's Mark count as magic damage or physical damage?
I think it's nature damage, right?
Let me look it up.
How I supposed to.
We'll just call it nature damage for now, and then we can adjust it. Okay. Or whatever. Yeah. So your arrow pierces in. You're able to get off a shot. It, despite your arrow doing a little bit less damage than you like, it is also looking very, very weak.
That's number 4.
Yep.
Okay. So.
Do you have another arrow, Diana?
I do, yes.
Oh,
I'm making
sorry.
my second attack on 4 as well.
It actually doesn't say
That's
what kind of
a-
damage it does.
Well, that was a natural 1, so I don't even have to roll my disadvantage dice.
Okay. You're as you're trying to pull it back, the arrow just snaps with the weight of the water. Sylvie.
I'm going to. What kind of cover do I have on 4 with a dwarf in front of me?
It's large, so you'd be able
Okay.
to.
So I'm gonna attack 4, Sam,
Okay.
and he's
It's just
he's
it's
kind
about
of
to be
wounded.
anything.
4 plus 8 is 12.
12. It just
Extra, yeah.
barely misses the first arc. Hits the cavern
So
wall.
then I'm gonna try my next one. 15.
That
Can
does
you
hit.
pass me
Roll for
my other
damage.
dice, Rich?
And it's piercing, it's not magic.
Oh,
10
okay.
damage.
10 damage?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The Eldritch Blast arcs through, and just as soon as it hits it, the whole watery form almost glows inside like a disco ball of this pink glittery light, and then disperses. The water hits the ground and then slides back into the pool. The pool gets a little bit higher.
Which one was that?
Number 4.
Number 4.
Oh,
so
that's the one I was on. Alright, so am I all splattered with gross water?
yeah, you're splattered with gross water. Rodek is now free. Gross magic water.
I was never constricted.
Oh, you weren't? Oh, whatever.
Well,
But
you
Annual.
are now. You are now.
Anyone's free now.
You just
Yeah.
were.
Vandris, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna rush up and attack the one, if I can, that's in front of Ganji and Annulin.
Right over the circle?
He cleared it, remember?
Well, I can go around it, right?
Oh, he cleared it? Oh, he cleared it.
It's also washed away.
Aha.
I'll make an attack.
Okay.
21.
Hits.
There's a decent. Nah, it's just shitty roll. 15 plus 6 is 21. Damn it.
So your rapier, you slide in next to Annulin, you thrust your rapier in, and with the force that you stick it in, it lurches forward and then dispersed, sliding back into the pool.
Now I'm free.
Leaving, and now
This is such a
Ganji is
farce.
free, sputtering after being
I hate
drowned. attempted to be drowned.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll attack the hex one.
Okay.
The only one that's left, I guess. Natty 1.
We're full of them tonight, folks.
That's 4.
You spin around. Whoops.
That's 4
That's
of
it?
them in this fight. Half of them are me.
Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna hunker down.
All right. Well, I will run my very fast 25 feet.
Isn't that Monsters 1?
Oh.
Yeah, what are you talking? You're not even close to
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
you're after me.
I thought someone said Rodak. I'm sorry.
No.
Did you
He's
go
gonna make it
after me?
I did.
Number 1. What?
I didn't go after Sylvie. That's why I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't go at all?
It's fine.
No,
Oh,
you
okay.
went immediately to me.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Take your turn. Yeah. Take your turn.
That's. I mean, either
I
way.
skipped your turn.
I'm gonna.
Hashtag blame Vandris.
I'm gonna rush up.
Always do.
Rodek was just readying an attack
Did I go?
as soon as Vanders
I don't remember going.
You
You
didn't
didn't
go.
go.
You definitely didn't.
We joked about the fact that I killed the guy in front of you, and you had nothing to do.
Oh right.
And then Van.
That's why. Okay, got it. I will attack
LOL.
twice. 18 and 8 plus 6 is what? 14.
They both hit.
I'll reroll that guy. These dice are pretty bad. 8, 12, 22.
And what's the damage combined?
22. It's combined. Both attacks.
You hack. The water is getting displaced, not having as much of an impact. It's taken a few hits. So now it's Monsters 1, and it is going to look at Rodek and immediately shoot out its tentacles.
Aww.
Getting
Oh, shucks.
19, I forget.
That will do.
So it wraps its tentacles around you and constricts. You take, Jesus Christ, 15 points of bludgeoning damage as it crushes you. And you
Would
are
this
now
be like a natural weapon? Is there anything? Would armor help against this?
I would say no.
It was worth a shot, guys.
I would say get wrecked.
Your to hit rolls haven't been great, but your damage rolls have been pretty solid.
Yeah, rolling pretty decently.
Annual.
Annual.
Put him in a body bag. Sweep the leg.
Okay. I'm gonna move, position myself like on the other side of Rodek,
My favorite anime music video.
but not. What'd you say?
Favorite anime music
Damn
video.
right, much like my AMVs.
Do you want to go here?
Yeah, that's fine. Wherever. And then I'm going to transfer my hunter's mark to that one and attack. And I failed.
Speaking of which, do we?
No,
Okay.
you said a marker.
Am I?
Something to mark.
You miss.
And I'll second attack.
Okay.
And I failed.
Both just clatter off into the side of the cavern.
Wow.
Sylvie.
I'm going to attack it.
It's hard to do.
Okay.
I got another natural
Another
one.
natty one. That's
Wow.
Uh,
You guys
but
are cursed.
the other one's 18 plus
You really are.
26 to hit.
That does that.
Sylvie did crit though, so.
Yeah, that's good.
8, 10 damage.
10. Okay. Your elder, the first one, once again sputters in your hand. Maybe the reception is bad down here.
I did miss my spell.
You only have 2 bars
You only have 2 bars.
of magic.
And the other one, thankfully, blasts and hits it. But it's wounded, but it's still going strong. Rhoda.
I'm constricted,
Yes.
which
So
is
you can
different
attack.
than grappled.
Your speed is 0.
So what's constricted? Can I attack?
It's
Yes.
All
Okay.
that happens
You're
is
grappled.
your
This
speed
is
is
grappled.
like the 7th
Oh, I'm
time
grappled.
we have
You're
this
grappled.
conversation.
Isn't constricted? I thought constricted was different.
No, you just can't move basically, unless you free yourself.
Okay. I'll just ignore it. Attack twice. 17, 15, and 13.
Both hit.
Terrible hit rolls, brother. Well, 1 and a 2. I get to reroll both. Thank God. A 3 and a 4. Okay. 1 better on each, and that 2 damage, guys. 10, 17 damage total.
17. I round down for having it, so.
I was really hoping you'd roll double ones on the damage roll.
That would have been pretty good.
You
One and a two.
manages to dodge out of your way as you swing and miss your axe, but you bring it back around, cleaving, doing a little bit of extra damage. Vandris.
Just a wee bit.
I'll finish him off. Can we pass through allies, or can I walk through the water, die before I ever get to the elemental?
Oh god, please.
You can pass through them. It's just difficult terrain.
I've got I got 6 squares, so
You're
I should
fine.
be able to.
You can
pass-
totally just.
You can go wherever here.
I'm gonna pass through Rodek. Yep, there we go.
Right there.
Finish this bad boy off. That would be a 17.
Hits.
That'll do, Tug.
Gosh, I'm rolling like garbage tonight. 17, 18 plus 6 is 23.
How do you want to do this?
Yay!
With a water elemental?
Throw dirt in it. Make it all dirty.
Don't you dare throw your bag of wits at it.
Oh.
I wouldn't dream of using my wits to finish
You have
this
to
off.
teach them about you.
I'm gonna do a real quick, Mask of Zorro motion, but better, and like dissipate the water completely.
Better than Mask of
Beaver
Zorro.
Vendetta.
Yeah, it'll be Mask
So-
of Vandris.
After taking all of the
Hands
hits,
for Vendetta.
it is looking weak, and you notice it looking like it's really rough. You whip out your rapier, you with a flourish, you effectively hack it apart, and it stops for a moment, and then just slides down back into the pool. And combat is over.
Good team fight. Good team
I'll
fight.
immediately book it up for the. Start climbing up the rope.
First, I'm gonna look at the corpses to see if they've
Yeah.
changed or reacted.
Yeah, they can investigate. I'm going up.
We spared one of the circles.
You
I'm gonna
did.
use prestidigitation to clean up the last circle.
No. You're such a troll. My world is tilted.
Not really.
So,
doing
no,
it.
no. So with prestidigitation, it cleans it, and then you you see something that you didn't notice before in the combat. You notice a shifting in the thing in the chest, and then it bulges, and then dissipates.
Huh.
Oh, Jesus. I almost got us killed again, guys.
You then hear a voice emanate through the cave.
Uh-oh.
Evening, do-gooders! So it looks like you foiled my experiments. Do you have any idea how long I've been working on that?
Probably about a couple weeks.
Longer than that! Never mind. I'm not too concerned.
Orpheus, reveal yourself!
Oh, don't worry. I'm not there. I'm just pretty good at what I do, Fanny Pooh. I'm sorry my homunculus lost you along the way. I need to get better help. But don't worry, I'm not here, but I'll be back soon enough. Diplomacy does take quite a bit. Anyway, enjoy. Don't think that you've only slowed me down a little bit. See you soon, Toodles.
Orpheus!
The voice dissipates.
I'm still.
These experiments are old news, and old news bores me.
Did it sound like it was coming from anywhere in particular?
I just sounded like it was coming from all around you.
Okay. Well, I kept booking it up the road.
Okay. So, so your Rodek is up. Look around seems to be the same as you left.
I'd like to investigate the water now that we've defeated the elementals.
I like
I-
throw
I-
over
Touch
the
it.
bed and I'm like ripping through the
I'd like to take a closer look at the bodies.
Okay. So Vandris, make an investigation check. Candy, make an investigation check.
12.
I got a 26. I'm sorry, 23.
So you look at the water, and it's totally motionless. It seems like regular water now. Whatever spell had been
Damn.
animating it has been dissipated when you killed it. It's just regular water. It's purified. Ganji looks and you notice As you see the bloating of one of the bodies, its entire ribcage seems to have been just absolutely destroyed and shattered. And you notice as if there's a little tear in the chest cavity.
Does it look like anything I've like completely unfathomable what it is? Where in the chest cavity? Like where?
Probably about right here.
Okay, like
Right
over
where the
sternum.
cavity
Right
is
in the
extra cavitigious.
Yeah.
So the question is, did whatever it is leave?
Escape, right?
It still seems to be bloated.
Oh, it does.
There seems to be something in it, and you can see in a tear. And there's obviously no blood coming out because this is a rotting corpse. But you see a little bit of red in the tear.
Open it. Open it.
And
I think we
don't
need to burn
hear
it.
anything. There's no sound of
No
escaping gas or anything, for example.
I mean, probably the putridness of the
Yeah,
gas.
yeah.
I would have.
Well, I just didn't know if there was. I mean, I'm trying to get a sense. Not that I would necessarily know or be able to tell even if it was. I'm just trying to figure out if these are like poison gases that are seeping out. But okay. Well, I know Sylvie was thinking of doing something, and she can do it from a distance. I would rather not touch this with my bare hands if possible. If Sylvie's still willing to do this.
What do you want me to do?
Mage hand.
Stab it?
Mage hand, dagger. Dagger.
I'll dagger, whatever it is. Are we in the bottom? Are we looking at the ones that are in the bottom? Wasn't that?
Yes.
First, before you do that, I yell up to Rodak. What does the one on the table look like?
I'm just like mid kind of ripping stuff up, but I still hear him and I go down. Nothing's changed! And I continue to look.
You find nothing that you haven't found already.
Even like ripping everything apart, like the desk or whatever. Okay.
Okay, I think before we try dissection, maybe we should go up and try to erase the circle upstairs too. Which, I don't know if we're playing into Orpheus's hands if we do that, but it seems like it might be a good call. What do we think?
Do it. Do it. I shout up, Rodek, erase the circle.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No.
With what?
Throw some dirt on it. Is there dirt?
Dirty. Use some of the dirty rags that were in that trash pile covering the hatch.
Okay, so I grab some rags and I just use the like handle of my axe and I try to like wipe off the circle.
As soon as you break the circle with the rag, you hear and the cracking of bone, the slithering around, and you almost could hear like a wince of pain, a shriek from something inside this rib cage. And
I immediately hack into the body.
you hack into the body. You hack into the body, splintering this corpse.
It would be sudden, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
just doing it. Okay.
That's,
So you
that's
split
your
it up.
instinct.
And
Doesn't even hesitate.
stops
True
immediately.
Vandra style.
it stops immediately, and you pull your axe out of this body and split open. You see a blue rubbery flesh inside the cage. And there's like a wound, and you see there's essentially inside where a heart and everything might be is a
Blue rubbery flesh.
blue rubbery flesh.
Can I like lean over and I like try to see what it is.
Seems to be covered. You can see, make an investigation check real quick.
I'm so bad at that. 11.
It just looks like this strange, abnormal, rubbery flesh beneath, like ripped out of the axe wound that you. But it also seems to have been pierced by your axe.
Can I?
What happened up there? I heard some noises. almost as if you were startled and hit something with an axe.
It moved, and I chopped it, and it's blue and rubbery, and I don't know what else. Somebody else get up here, please. Like little tears start coming out of my eyes. I'm like super jittery.
Well, plan stab it with knives might be still a good plan, but I'm going to go up and see what Rodek has done. So I'll climb up the rope.
Okay, you go up and you see in front of you the bloated corpse.
Oh, thank God, Genji.
The wound.
And I take him over and I point out the...
And can I tell anything about it?
It looks like there's something foreign inside.
Okay.
But the wound isn't big enough without further investigation.
Oh boy.
I shout up the rope ladder towards the two gentlemen upstairs. Is there any way that we can safely cut it out and take it with us?
Safely, I very much doubt it.
You
Well,
could try!
We
I
have
ain't
we have
doing
a
it.
tin cup. Do we have anything else to put it in? Do we have like empty vials?
We probably have something.
How big is it?
We just want to biopsy it, basically. We just want to take like a tissue sample.
Well, I will tell you guys, I've seen some gaping chest wounds in my time, and they're not supposed to be blue, as a general rule. Even
Right.
for dragons who are blue, it's still not blue in there.
All right,
don't
can
know if
I?
that's canon, but it's
All right, I'm gonna climb up the rope to meet them. Can I do some sort of a dexterous check to see if I can very aptly surgically remove some blue flesh without fucking everything up?
You can make a straight dex check, so you're just trying to slice off.
Yeah, I want to like
think you try to
biopsy it.
I think you try to uncover more of it, right?
Wait, all right, time out. I looked at Rodek and I say, you want me to cut the whole thing out of his chest, or you want me to just get a sample?
I do. So it looks like there's more in there. Why don't you kind of like carve it out?
All right.
And I step way
Because
back.
I'm the stupid rogue, I will withdraw one of my daggers, and like a surgeon, I will attempt to open up his chest and extract the blue mass.
Make a dex check.
I would love to.
I'll give him guidance.
Oh, Jesus. 15?
15. You take your daggers. I think you have 2 of them, right?
Yeah, but I only need one. Let's be
You only
realistic.
need one, so you take your dagger and you stab in and you slice down. And as soon as you reach down to about its abdomen, as if
Goodbye,
the
Wolf.
pressure is enough and it pops out. And what has popped out of this corpse's chest looks like an enormous, hideous-looking, monstrous tadpole.
Ew.
Oh.
It has strange black spots on it, and you can kind of see half of a glassy eye rolled over dead as it sticks out of this chest cavity.
Someone's watched their Stranger Things.
So these are straight up incubators, like for real.
Doesn't look dead.
It looks very dead.
Have we seen this tadpole looking thing / fish people before?
Nope.
Nothing in relation to the last time that we met Orpheus with the fish gods and the fish murloc things, and no sneaking suspicion of our last encounter with Orpheus.
So the thing that you would have noticed is Orpheus did use a spell that feared several of you, and there was an image that appeared above his head to do it, and it looked hideous and monstrous, but it did look amphibian-like.
Well, I mean, I thought out of character. We fought like fish creatures,
Yep.
and we had like some black obsidian fish idol,
Yep.
so like murloc idol, and then the professor jumped into the lake after he turned into a monster.
So those were all fishy-looking. This looks
Amphibian.
explicitly amphibian.
Okay, all right, so okay, got it.
We should probably make sure the ones downstairs are dead too.
Well, who's still downstairs? The girls are still
The
downstairs.
girls.
If you want
What do you
to
want us
go
to do,
with
guys?
plan-
Cut them open and kill them.
If you want to go with plan stab, I think that might be a good idea.
I'm gonna take my dagger. I'm gonna stab it into the chest of the one closest to the water.
With your hand?
Huh?
With your hand or mage hand?
I'll just use my hand.
Okay, you go over. The gross kind of gases kind of seep out, but no movement. It sinks in quite easily, and as you look in the center, you see rubbery flesh, but this is red.
One fish, two fish,
Or did I
red
stab
fish,
the
blue
thing?
fish.
Oh, it's in it,
Oh.
but it made no, as if you were stabbing a dead tadpole thing.
Okay. I'm gonna continue like cart around it. I just want to make sure it's dead.
Make a dex check.
14?
14. So you can dig around. You notice that you're probably catching a bit of the tadpole, but you're able to pry it open a little bit, and it's a slightly sliced up, hideous, grotesque, monstrous-looking tadpole, but red. And you wouldn't know that this context, but it looks smaller than the one from upstairs.
What did you find?
I got a red one.
Oh,
I'm gonna hack up the other ones. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'll
go
come
over,
down too.
And I'm gonna
I
hack
hope
up the other
too.
two.
Sing song voice.
Yeah.
You
Are you humming?
just take your turn
Let the
hacking
bodies
it.
at the fall. Let the bodies at the
As an AMV with these overly edgy scene transitions.
Crawling in my skin.
No grace at all
I wish we had a bard.
as Sylvie is playing Surgeon. No resistance from these tadpole things. It seems as if whenever these circles were disrupted, it seemed to have killed whatever was inside. The weapons have not. So you essentially have these three gross-looking red tadpoles.
I'm gonna put them on my head.
Okay.
Wait, what colors are they?
These are red. All of
So
them
they're
are
all red.
All of them are red.
And they're all smaller.
Yep. Than the blue one.
So I'm gonna get on the other two I'm gonna put in my little pouch because I don't have the bag of holding.
So these are like probably this big.
Okay, well then I'm going to shove my arms through them. And I'm gonna mount my broom with one on my head, and I'm gonna fly out
No,
to the group.
can you hollow one out? Like
Yeah,
a,
that's what
like,
I want
like
to
a
do. So I'm like
jack-o'-lantern
wearing it
and-
like
and-
a hat. It
Yeah.
smells terrible, and I'm probably gonna puke in it. But that's what I'm gonna do.
So you take your hand and with some effort, it's tough, but you're able to like dig your nails in and shove it because after carving out the one, shoving it on your head, make a con saving throw.
So 6.
Please
It's
throw
a
out
saving
everywhere.
throw.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, good. It doesn't. So. 8.
Is this how Sylvie actually dies? Because good lord.
Maybe.
The stench of this flesh is absolutely unbelievable. You just puke all inside of the tadpole.
So what you're saying?
Sounds about right.
So you're flying around the room.
Fucking all over myself.
We have like
Oh,
5
it's
people
just
watching
coming
right
down
now,
the
so
bottom.
I'd like to apologize to all 5 people.
Anything for the joke? Did she continue that?
Oh yes.
Well, it's Constitution, so you gotta make sure you don't fall off the broom, right?
Yeah, I guess I need to roll and not fall off
Oh,
my
I
broom.
mean, I think that it's
I'm
easy
holding on
enough that
pretty
you're
tight.
puking, but it's not enough to.
Mikey's like,
Okay.
please, anything to move the story on.
I land next to Rodek and I take the thing off, puke and all, and I hand it to him.
A puke-filled, mutilated tadpole
I
thing.
smack it with my axe onto the
Put
ground.
it in the bag of holding.
I don't want to touch that.
I'll prestidigitation my puke off of it.
Yeah, I get the bag of hold. Well,
Wait,
can we wrap it up?
I mean, if we put it in there, it's still
Is
gonna...
there a...
No, like...
Parchment paper.
So the problem is, the bag of holding isn't going to keep it all. It's still going to deteriorate and be gross.
Well, it's in a vacuum.
It's in a vacuum.
Yeah.
It should preserve it, right?
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't preserve
It
it.
flat out says it doesn't preserve
Yeah.
it.
How about we check on that dragon egg while you're in
Oh,
there?
yeah, look, it has the dragon egg.
It's a dragon egg.
I was actually going to say, oh, well, we can use the shell of the dragon egg that has hatched and the dragonling has since died, and we can put it in the shell to keep it contained so that it doesn't get all the stuff.
That's the ultimate Avantris meme. It's still a dragon egg. For 2 years.
2 fucking
2 years.
Could we use a dirty rag? Is there like a filthy
There's a
rag?
few filthy like articles of clothing and the like.
Ugh. Probably smell just as bad as the fish. Yeah, I guess like let's just wrap him up. I guess.
We should dig it to Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium and see if they pay for it.
You can put it in like a little jar.
Yeah. Pickled tadpole. Yeah. So let's just wrap them all up, all 4 of them, and we'll throw them in the filthy bag of holding. Now, this is such a bad idea.
So the blue one you pull out is like yay big. Like it,
So like Sylvie could fit inside of it.
It's like about like
I'm
so.
not
Yeah,
ever
so
being honest, no.
I was gonna say, so she immediately does, is what you're saying.
this is
She's
this
had
was
enough
a
of
big
this.
guy, and this was a big dude, and it was like getting bigger than this body could.
He's a big guy.
He's a big guy for you.
For you.
And so
Can you really sketch it down? Do we have like a
We have,
drawer?
I have parchment and stuff, but my ability to draw is pretty.
Oh, I thought you actually were gonna ask someone on your side over there to start drawing a corpse with a tadpole in it.
No, I just.
I
meant,
was gonna be
in-
like, please,
We can't, like, take a
please,
picture of
someone
it.
do that.
But like, you know, when in game, could we sketch it? I don't know.
Well, that would be Ganji's specialty, right? As a researcher,
I guess.
he's like, please don't make me draw the corpse.
I really.
Let's just take it. We'll throw it in the bag of
If we
holding.
have 3 of them,
The corpse?
I really don't know how much of a drawing is going to help.
We're taking the corpse with us too.
Are we taking all 4 corpses?
No.
No. I thought we were
I
just
think
taking
we need to
the
take any corpses.
Agreed.
Wait, no, not the bloated corpses. I'm in the corpses.
That
of
is
the
a stink that
tadpoles.
will never come out.
I mean, neither will dead tadpole, but
Alright, can we just take one of the red
But we have a
tadpoles?
red one and we have a blue one.
Yeah, so I'm saying I thought we were gonna take all 4, the 3 red and the big blue one.
Yeah, we can probably
Fine.
find. I have a troll's tusk.
all 4 sounds
We
good.
sure do.
what?
I said all 4 sounds good.
It's gonna take a lot of space in the bag of holding.
Okay, is this a short rest by now?
Yeah, it's a short.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna use some hit dice because I just need to.
So you got the other tusk, the other troll tusk?
Huh?
'Cause
No,
I have
that's
one.
your troll tusk. I just keep showing it to you, telling you I have one.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to
I
notice.
grumble. I just didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I grumble slightly. What makes me mad? What makes me mad?
Well, we've confirmed that Orpheus is here.
Was here.
Well,
Yeah.
I think he's not leaving.
And now he
I'm
knows we're here.
I bet you he already knew.
It sounds that.
Do you think he's somewhere in the city and
Yes.
was?
Killed his homunculus, right?
Oh no! So he said his homunculus lost us.
Right.
He killed him.
Yeah, because we killed him. Remember, we killed him in the.
It's a spell. Okay, isn't summon homunculus just like a
You
spell?
can create a
he has?
homunculus.
Or
You
he
can
lost
create
us when we
created.
evaporated into thin air because of Annual.
Yeah.
Right, that's kind of what I figured is that the homunculus probably was watching us.
But
Anyway.
yes, I think that he is still in the city.
Do we know?
Okay,
what
so
the-
do we know what the homunculus was? Did you all know this was happening?
No,
Yeah.
we didn't know. How could we know? We didn't know we were being
And we're
followed.
just assuming.
I didn't know
too.
if he meant like previously, like before we got to the city.
It could be, but
So
I
who
would think
knows?
that he lost us when we vanished into thin air.
So he could have been referring to 2 years ago in the Dragon Temple.
Or he could have been referring when we traveled via plants because of the Bear King. The homunculus couldn't follow us.
True.
True.
But I think he's in the city. I think he's here.
I
He
agree.
wouldn't leave his experiment unattended. And even if we just slowed him down, his business wouldn't be done here.
In any event, do we know what he meant by diplomacy? He
No,
said-
but I imagine he's trying to win over or do something with the Silver Serpents. I've suspected it since the beginning. These are people with immense power, influence, and access to magical artifacts and all sorts of stuff. He must be trying to insert himself into the Silver Serpents or gain favor somehow. There's no way. I mean, whether he's disguising himself or he's going as the person that he is, I would think it's a disguise. But there's no way he's leaving the Silver Serpents alone.
Well, why don't we take that creepy book that we found to that alchemist Silver Serpent and just, maybe we can get a meeting with him because we have like this creepy book.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do we know of any, from your knowledge of the Silver Serpents, do you know if any of them would understand the implications of creepy tadpole things, and we could show them to them?
Well, the book that we found would directly correlate with Alphonse for sure.
But are these people we can trust? I mean,
No,
So then do we want to even show them that?
we don't have a choice.
We might not trust them, but we don't want them trusting Orpheus.
So while the Silver Serpents are powerful and not necessarily the most wholesome, they're not all directly evil. They're people who are willing to help if they get help themselves. While I wouldn't trust all of them, some of them are honorable. I would say several of them are probably, in the pursuit of knowledge as well as money. This is while money rules, it's not the end all be all. I don't think they're all directly evil.
So who of the group would you say is
Well,
like
Alphonse for sure. I mean, as far as motives go, I don't directly distrust Alphonse. With my knowledge of the city and living here my whole life, Alphonse would be one of the ones that you hear the least about as far as, misgivings go.
Can you pass me my dice?
Okay, so I mean, is this something, do you think we could try to influence the better of the group and
Well, I think
it helps?
I think whoever mentioned it, Nikki or Sylvie, we take it to Alphonse, obviously, 100%. Take the book to Alphonse. If showing him the tadpoles becomes an option, we do that. But at the very start, we can take the book to him and say, hey, look what we found. What can you make of this book? It's ancient. It's an ancient text.
Well,
Question.
go ahead.
Well, this is out of character.
Yeah.
Is Alphonse the one throwing the ball? I don't remember understanding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Alphonse.
I thought so. So we do have an in for Alphonse already if we can wait that long. But is that too long?
May not
to
have a
wait?
choice because we tried to intercept him and we were unsuccessful. So we may have to wait till the ball.
Maybe. Oh boy. Maybe if we could try to pique his interest by posing as booksellers with this book or something.
I think we've posed as many things so far.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking already.
I don't think we can waltz back into Noble Garden as a different set of people. I don't hate your plan. I think it's risky.
To be fair, I was thinking more of the the equivalent exchange in the.
Well, Rodek has
the
developed quite the
hemisphere.
rapport with the young lady who mans the counter. Maybe he would show the book to her.
The what?
I
Oh,
said-
the.
The young woman who mans the counter.
I don't know. We
I don't
went to
recall being that young.
Well, you know what I mean. We're all.
we're all
Oh, you
getting
mean
up
the
there.
store. I thought you were talking about the old.
No, I was talking about the
Raggedy.
equivalent exchange. The young woman who was the cashier.
Strike my
So-
comment on the record.
I'd have hesitation handing it over to her.
Not handing it
Without-
over, just showing it and potentially saying, hey, look what we have. We really need to talk to Alphonse.
It's worth a shot.
For now, we need to get the hell out of the Kench.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get out. And
Let's get back to
I
Widow's
would say
Watch.
that if Vandris, if you trust this guy at least a little bit with his book, then I'm okay.
So
with
here's
it.
the thing. I'm gonna be again. Mikey. I don't think I've ever met the guy, right?
You have not.
Right. I can only go off of what we hear
Right.
in Gull's Haven. And again, you know, these people are rich and powerful, but they're not all motivated by greed and or evil.
Yeah.
So I would think that Alphonse is probably one of the more wholesome of the seven, who is, you know, in the pursuit of knowledge. You know, that's, to me, that's what alchemy is, the
Right.
pursuit of knowledge and science.
Yes, I mean, you would know that he is generally very well liked by the people. He is very charismatic. He's liked by the group, and he is an alchemist. So, I mean, you know, there is Vito, who's very interested in magic items, relics, and artifacts. So those are the two, like, magic-y of the seven silver serpents. But, you know, he's definitely... He has a very good reputation. Compared to all of the others, he definitely has a good reputation among the city.
Right. So I would say it's our safest bet.
All right. Well.
So Widow's Watch.
Let's get the fuck
Yeah.
out
Let's
of here.
let's get out. So, Anulin, would you do the honors of casting your fancy magic?
Happy to. Woo!
You go, woo! Whoosh, and
That was fancy.
The black, the shadow engulfs you, and you make your way out of the building. And stealth checks everybody.
Wait.
Hold
What?
on. The green crystals.
Oh,
Go ahead.
What are they for?
Are they still glowing?
Were they ever glowing?
They had
I'm going
magic
to use
on them.
our last charge of the wand to see if they still emanate any kind of magic.
you use your wand on it, and it seems to no longer be magically charged.
I take my axe and see if I can move the gem at all.
As soon as you touch it, it turns into dust.
I go around and I tap all 10 of them. They're just all dust.
They all turn to dust.
All right. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
What about the
and
little statues and stuff?
You feel free to grab them. They seem to be like trinkets. They didn't glow with the magic.
Mike, I'm gonna send you a quick message.
Okay.
I assume we already grabbed all the gold, right?
We did.
Yeah.
I feel like we should take them. And like just so there wasn't anything we missed like under the bed or in a desk drawer
We
or anything like
investigated.
that.
It seemed to be very sparse. Whatever he had there was mainly the book, the experiments that he was doing, and then for whatever reason the little trinkets and stuff along the just scattered to the ground.
And anything like on the bodies.
The bodies, if you loot their clothing, probably had a total of, these were decently paid people, so probably like 70 pieces of gold.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you.
All right.
Let's go.
They are enforcers. in the
Alright,
black.
I sent you a message, Mike, real quick.
Oh, let me just double check on this biz.
I wanna be extra sure.
So we're stealthing back, by the way, while this is happening.
Correct.
Should
Well,
we roll
yeah.
stealth? Or
Everyone roll for stealth, please.
Guidance to myself because me.
37.
30.
10 plus 4, 15 plus the 10 is
13.
25.
Okay. And you're just heading back to Pelican's
22, by the
Perch.
way.
You make your way. It is very late at this point, probably approaching dawn. You see the very, you can almost see the slight glow of the sun coming up from the night sky and towards where the east, and you make your way through the Kench with no excitement. Besides, a couple just dodging a few people stumbling through, looking menacing. You make your way back to the main thoroughfare. The night, the crowd has died down quite a bit. It's just people getting up to head out early on their vessels, and maybe going to work in their shops early. And you make your way back Seamuses seem to have turned in. But luckily you have your keys, and you're able to go back to the room if you so choose.
I think that might be a good idea.
We do so choose.
Yep.
To the
Let's
room,
go
to
to
sleep.
bed.
You go to sleep, and with that, we'll call the session.
Whew.
Good stuff.
Thanks, guys.
Nice.
Everyone who's still watching, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free, if you like this, to like our Facebook page, Legend of Evangelist. You can see it here. Or if you're on Twitch, please, like or follow or however that works. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you. We'll probably be, maybe, does next Wednesday work? We can talk about it offline, but...
Maybe,
Yeah. We'll play it by ear.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll definitely update on our Facebook page. We usually do Wednesday evenings or Saturday afternoons. Thanks so much. We'll see you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.